All right, we're
All
back,
time.
ladies and gentlemen, for another week. We got beat. This weekend's been tough on us. It's been a long week.
It has been a long week.
Has.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's been a very long week.
When I mean week, I mean starting probably from last Monday to today. So more like almost 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks have been tough.
We're on the low energy
I
vibes
was
today.
on a hiatus. I haven't been here for a while.
Yeah, we thought Cole quit, but turns out he's still here.
The only thing I quit being a bitch.
Dude,
Let's
fuck
get it
yeah.
done.
That's a
Let's
good
get
thing
it
to.
done.
That's
Nah,
a
he's
good
still
thing to quit
full-time.
while you're ahead.
He's still working full time. He's actually working overtime, 46 hours a week on that.
Actually picked up extra shifts.
Yeah.
41 hours.
Yeah, that's actually why we thought he quit here, is 'cause he was picking up overtime.
And turns out we were right.
Yeah, so
But it's nice to have you back, sir. But yeah, definitely has been a long week, dude. Been on the low energy vibes. Kind of ever since I guess Monday.
speak for yourself since last Wednesday, bro. We've been going since last Wednesday.
That was
been going
last
to
Wednesday.
Blue Collar Boys.
Oh, dude,
Yes,
that's
it
right.
Was. Yeah, it was. Oh,
That's
I was here
right,
for that
dude.
one actually.
Yeah.
So, no, I guess I was here for that one.
That is right. Yeah, Cole
Yeah,
sucks, dude.
Did
at
that last
remembering
Wednesday.
shit.
Then Thursday, I went to the Liquid Stranger show. I did
How
take.
was
I
that?
worked Friday night though, and then Saturday, I worked, and then went to Josh's Smash tournament birthday thing. Sunday was Shelby's birthday. That was a stressful day. I had to deal with a lot of bullshit. I had to get a show. The show I was preparing for got canceled. I had to cancel it due to some
Unforeseen circumstances.
yeah that I had to deal with, that I stressed out about for a
That's-
long extended period of time.
Probably the most professional way to say that.
Yeah, and then but I bounced
Good.
back. I didn't let it affect me too much in the moment, 'cause it was also my girlfriend's birthday. The show was also going to be like a birthday show. Awesome that it got canceled, right? But yeah, so
we were excited for that.
yeah, you're telling me I was pumped. Yeah, and then so yeah, not to stress both of us out, I just bounced back and made the best of it, and we made some plans for Shelby's birthday. Regardless,
Pretty short notice. Worked out all right.
we had a good
You know,
time. It was still a good
pretty
night.
good.
Yeah, it was a rough one. And then, Monday, I don't think I did much, but I still feel like I didn't get much rest. And then Tuesday was Winton's birthday.
Dude, yeah.
So that went out for Winton's birthday, and then here we are today doing this. So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long past couple days.
It has, dude.
Yeah.
But
Weeks, honestly.
Weeks, dude. Weeks.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
I don't got it like I used to, so.
My great grandma died a couple back.
Dude,
and,
really?
So we had the funeral. Yeah, we had the funeral like last week, and she was 101 or 102.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Pretty strong
insane.
woman right there.
I don't,
Yeah, I'd
Couldn't
be
tell you that
ready.
at that point, but-
I'd be
I
ready.
don't have a
Oh
joke.
yeah, for sure. Don't let it happen to me.
I'm not trying to break any records. Yeah, I'm saying I'm good.
No, definitely not. No,
I'm like
definitely
100.
not.
I'm hitting 100. I'm like, I did it. That's enough for me.
That is one of those things where, like, if you're religious, you're like, take me, God. Like, please, I'm asking for it.
I'm ready.
You've
I'm
seen like
ready.
everyone in your life die. It's like
She really had. She was the last. She was
Even,
the last
like,
of her
people that
friends,
you
her
wish you'd-
family, like her brothers, even her son.
That's
and,
what I was gonna say.
you know,
Even
and
people
all
you
that
wish
stuff.
you hadn't gotten to see died before your eyes, type of
Yeah,
thing.
pretty brutal stuff, man.
Yeah,
It's
that was
pretty gruesome.
that was what 2 weeks ago when that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That was a long day for Cole too. Cole had gotten
Yep. It was a lot. It was just
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a lot. There was a lot going on.
he got handled.
Yeah, I did. I got manhandled that day and the day before. That's all right. We're bouncing back. Life.
We're backing on the
on.
bounce, bro.
Gotta keep doing
Needless
it.
to say, we're pushing on. We're tired, but we're here today for you guys, 'cause we're being what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent. Transparent. We're gonna knock it out. We're gonna start off strong though with this episode, I think. Like how Josh is just over there. Josh usually just talking away. He's like,
What do you want me to say?
He's got-
I'm fucking tired of shit, guys.
But
My
the
bad.
rest of the world has had some stuff going on the past couple weeks too.
that is facts.
We were
facts.
talking about that before the show started.
Josh just facts,
Facts,
dude.
facts
That's true.
alone.
I like.
He's
what did
right.
we start with? We were talking about what to start with. You start with the guy
Yeah,
lighting himself on fire? Do you start with the Meek Mill thing? Do you go from most important to least important?
I
I
would
mean, which
or-
is most important though?
I don't really
Be
care about
honest with
P. Diddy.
yourself.
P Diddy being a P Diddler is not as much of a
Yeah, that's not right. I don't
P
think
Diddy
that's
being a
much-
P Daddy doesn't really float your boat, dude.
not more.
I just kind of assume a lot of those people are like that, honestly. Whenever I hear about that stuff, I'm just like, again?
Damn, dude. Epstein's
Surprise.
Epstein's Island. No wonder.
It is weird though because
Was
like
he one of those people?
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
it's
You think
becoming
Epstein was
like
just a big P Diddy fan.
Probably.
it's becoming like more and more apparent that to be in Hollywood or be a celebrity in these like higher echelon fields, you have to do shit that is probably shit you don't want to do, or maybe it's shit you want to do, but it seems at the very least like controversial or something like that, so that somebody can have power over you. It's
Or
like
be around people that do it.
now that that's
very
becoming
least.
more and more apparent, how long can that exist? Like, how many people are going to continue to step into these industries knowing that that's a factor they have
A
to go
lot.
through? I know that
lot
there
will.
are a
It'll
certain
never
percentage
stop.
of people that will do it, even knowingly that they will have to do that. But like
Since the dawn of time, people will do anything for fame and fortune.
how much longer can we make fucking live action kids shows where us as the audience are like, no, these kids are probably being treated perfectly fine on
We're just
set.
gonna see like
like what?
we're just gonna start seeing like FBI agents or like child protective units like kind of like barely in the camera, just like standing there, and the camera guy's like,
It's like
They're
the
like,
the
"We have to protect
suspension
the
of
children."
the
They're just
suspension
on
of
set.
disbelief is no longer
all
within the
times.
script. It's within the actual like behind the scenes thing. You have to like
Practically in the contract.
you have to basically suspend your own disbelief that these kids aren't getting fucked over by on set by either their parents or the director and like people that run the show and shit like
the
that.
parents thing is crazy.
Parents thing is crazy
You know,
because it's like
what was it? What is it?
Selena Gomez was one of them.
Selena Gomez. No, I'm
The-
thinking of a more obvious one. The singer.
Selena Gomez.
Hannah? No, not Hannah Montana.
Montana.
Britney
Oh,
Spears.
Britney Spears is
Thank
what I
you,
was thinking.
sorry.
Her and her dad. That
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
situation.
Yeah, her dad fucked her.
Yeah,
Not
it's-
literally.
Well,
Well, it's arguable.
me
Hope not.
I mean,
too.
I hope not as well, but I mean the case against him is quite strong.
He's still. They're still in a legal battle, aren't they? Like even right now.
I don't know.
she's
if
out of the
that's been
conservatorship.
settled. Yeah, I think she's out of the conservatorship. I don't know if
What-
it's been settled, but I could look it up.
I think I thought I only recently heard something about it, like a new situation on her.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Life's just at this point. It's like everything's being thrown at you. You know, you're just like, oh shit, world's fucked up, and we're all just trying to somehow continue
Yep.
living.
What was it? And then we find out like in sync. Just you remember that? Found out they didn't love each other like we thought they did. You know, they weren't best friends like we thought they were.
Yeah.
Brothers.
Backstreet Boys didn't want it that way.
Yeah.
That's what really.
Was it the Backstreet Boys?
That
had the huge thing? It was probably both of 'em.
That
No, I
away.
remember that song.
Tell
but I
me
mean, like,
why.
They are back in
ain't
court.
nothing.
They are back in court. I thought so. He's suing her or something, right?
That's
no, I think
Backstreet
she's
Boys.
suing
Or
him
she's suing him.
NSYNC was the
over his
One of them had a
big lies.
documentary
Her
about him
lawyer
recently
says
within the past couple years. Came out.
like
I
what
don't
was the
remember which
major
one it was.
NSYNC song?
Tell me why.
That's
ain't
Backst-
nothing in
I
a
just sang that.
heartache.
That's Backstreet Boys.
Is it?
Yes.
Get your boy bands together, bro.
Who
Come on.
gives a fuck?
Bye bye
I
bye.
sing- what you don't know?
Bye,
bye 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 bye.
You don't know what the top Jonas Brothers song is?
No, but I can tell you some big time Rush ones.
I forget they even exist. I do not know anything about them a lot.
Honestly, that show was not bad. It was bad. It was horrible, but it
What's
was not
crazy
bad
is,
for a
like,
horrible show.
Justin Bieber got bigger than what was his name? I Want Candy Kid.
Aaron Carter.
Yeah, Aaron Carter.
He's dead, dude.
When did Aaron Carter die?
Like kind of not too far after his blow up.
Oh, it was.
No, he got
Just-
old, man.
yeah,
I
He
thought
got
it was like
old.
10 years after.
No, he got old. Not old, but he got
2022. When did he get famous?
whenever we were in elementary.
In elementary.
Not before that. Like
Yeah,
probably
before that.
2000.
Aaron Carter, come up. Let's find out. We're all finding shit out together, dude. Together, we find it out.
Aaron
Together.
Carter came and went, man. He came and went.
Let's just
Oh,
see what
damn, late
I Love
90s?
Candy.
P Diddy just came.
All over your favorite artist, bro.
Yeah, see, I Want Candy was released in 2000. I was right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it says 97 is whenever he released his first song.
So, yeah, I was right on that. So, yeah, that's another
But
22
yeah,
years
obviously
after.
he really
be-
ended up being a douche though.
But obviously Bieber went like harder, or I guess crazier.
yeah, he went harder.
Not like that,
Bieber
but like
kicks ass.
he sold more and like was like I guess like a hotter pop star or whatever. And as far as the charts or whatever, but that's just 'cause of the internet,
Well, Bieber
right?
was way later.
It's just the internet, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's just the internet factor.
I was just saying, I'm like it's weird because like we were talking about NSYNC and stuff, and I was like, oh, Justin Bieber was never in a boy band, and he got pretty big. And then I was like, oh, neither was Aaron Carter. And I was just thinking like,
Harry
he made it
Styles is pretty
way-
big, though. He was in a boy band.
It's kind of
yeah,
weird.
no, that's what I'm saying. But and so is Justin Timberlake was in a boy band, then got bigger.
It's
than a
kind
boy
of
band
weird
did.
to think that like I guess whenever someone gets called an industry plant, it almost immediately like kind of takes the level of talent that they have out of the equation. Because I've always thought of Justin Bieber to have like very much talent in his voice and things like that. But I've always also seen him as very much an industry plant.
Hey, you know who found Justin Bieber?
Usher. You know who fucked Usher?
Yeah, and then
Wait a
you,
minute.
you know who
Wait a minute.
you
What
know-
are you guys saying?
you know who signed Justin Bieber?
P Diddy.
P Diddy.
Oh my god.
he?
Hey, man. They say that P Diddy did do a lot of things, though.
He did. He
I mean,
P
you
P
still gonna
don't he?
jam his music or
I couldn't name one song.
me neither. I'm saying I couldn't name an
Goddamn.
Usher song either though.
Can
so.
I name a P? I don't think I
could
can name a
easily
P.
name
Diddy
an
Also,
Usher
off
song.
the top of my head, I cannot name Justin Bieber. Wait.
Boyfriend?
Okay,
Easy.
there you go.
That's the first one that came
that
to
your
mind.
favorite one?
That sounds like it.
That was quick.
I just remember when it came out. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the story.
What was it, Baby?
Actually,
Baby's the
Oh yeah. Okay. Baby would have.
Baby and Boyfriend, alright. All right, Daniel. I'm seeing your vibe here.
What's your favorite boy band though? What was your
Never Say
favorite?
Never.
My favorite boy band.
I saw the movie,
You
dude.
just coming off. I never saw that.
I saw the movie.
My
Yeah,
favorite
maybe if you
boy
got women back in the
band-
day, you would have seen
Dude,
the movie.
That's a tough
Shit,
one.
man.
There's a lot of
Not
boy
me.
bands out there. Who's your favorite boy band? I'll go second. No, I'll go first. NWA.
I gotta. I'm gonna be basic here. I'm gonna say Backstreet Boys. Honestly.
That's not a bad one. I
Yeah.
mean, they were from the back street,
All right.
and they were the boys.
We're the way back boys 'cause we go way
We go
back.
way back, dude. I don't know. I guess I wasn't really into boy bands like that.
Hey, New Kids on the Block kind of were killing it.
I don't know any of their songs.
Yeah, so they suck.
Yeah, must be
That's how
shit.
it works.
K-pop's
be
where it's at
shit.
now, dude.
It's
Name
basically the
one
same
band.
thing, isn't it? It's basically the same thing. It's just a bunch of.
Oh yeah,
like,
I got-
K-pop's where it's
bands.
at. Name one band, dude.
Oh, what's their name? Fuck, they're like the most popular
you
K-pop.
I have
band.
a
can't think of
friend-
their name. That's racist, Daniel.
I have a friend. Shout out to Derek. He is like really into K-pop, and he knows all those bands.
Stop Asian hate.
I feel, you know,
BTS.
I don't know what that had to do with
BTS.
Oh, you mean he's like a supporter? You know, he's
No,
just like
no,
a,
no.
a-
I'm just being
a
stupid.
fighter. No,
I
Best-
didn't have a meaning in that.
Best boy band, easily Naked Brothers Band.
Oh, come on, dude. That was later generation. Not as good.
That was good.
Red
The
Hot
old-
Chili Peppers.
Dude, they were like 10 years old.
I mean, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a band full of boys, what's the ciphers?
What is the
Dixie
difference
Chicks? Is that-
between a boy like is fucking Van Halen a boy band?
Hey, they said B2K was fucking.
No, he
That's
smokes
funny.
too many cigarettes.
But I
And he
mean,
does.
but he's with the boys.
Brockhampton.
What was it?
Brockhampton's on Boys to Men. They were
Boyz II
good.
Men, I've heard
They were
about them
good.
a lot. I've never heard
The
one of their
Jonas
songs.
Brothers.
Are they really brothers? Are they actually?
They should-
Brothers?
I mean,
Yeah.
they look alike.
One of them doesn't.
They do.
One of them
No,
doesn't.
yeah,
I mean, even he
one of 'em, they
looks
just
like
found a
one
random
of
kid,
them.
and they were like, "All right, get in here."
He
Hey,
looked like
the
so-
new
This is
kid-
your new brother. He can sing, so we're putting him in.
Maybe the new conspiracy is that the fucking Obama kids aren't the Obama's kids. Hey, the Jackson 5?
Well, because isn't the conspiracy that Lady Obama
is Big Mike.
is not? Yes, isn't that it?
I mean, that's a conspiracy, yeah.
Right? Or
What?
well, so how can they
That
have kids?
Michelle
if-
Obama is a dude.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
one.
that's
You haven't
big.
seen that one?
That
that's a
just
big
seems
thing.
like, hey, people being like,
It's
No, it's a big
definitely.
conspiracy. There's a
Yeah.
There's
lot of
definitely
people-
a
probably
lot
amongst the
of,
white
like-
community, it's probably a huge
What does that have
conspiracy.
to do
There's
with
definitely
it?
a lot of fucking racist undertones in that
Come on, bro.
conspiracy theory,
A
but
taller black
it
woman.
is a conspiracy
It's just
theory
like when
that's been
people,
going around.
fucking,
God.
what's her name? Serena Williams. It's just like when people are like, that's a dude. Just 'cause she's a taller black woman doesn't mean she's a
No,
fucking.
no, I do find the conspiracy itself, like the idea of it, is pretty funny. That's like kind of laughable.
This guy's been on Reddit a little too much, if you ask me.
Uh.
This guy's been on 4chan, guys.
I mean, if you take
I don't have
into
either
account
of those things.
if you take into account that the Obamas were on the Epstein list and
Yeah,
that
that's- Tom
President
Hanks.
Obama is already at the helm of like plenty of other conspiracies, it's like,
I mean,
is it really that crazy
they're cooked.
to go from point A to point Z?
Their home chef.
like
got,
cut across the rest of the alphabet.
That other 24 letters are just letters, dude. You can go right across them.
was that not crazy though that their home chef died in like a pond?
Yeah, bro. He fucking.
He's just paddleboarding on the pond outside. Yeah, he fell in and just forgot how to swim.
Is that what they?
Oh, yeah, he was
what
like
did they
a-
say? He had a heart attack or something, and just
No,
like,
No.
He just
Drown.
he just drowned in a pond.
Yeah, there was that one.
And like barely
Well,
even
you
a
know how
pond.
it is, bro.
There was that one. I think it was an informant or something. It was either an informant or an agent or somebody that had some type of information. I think it was on the Clinton family or something. But
Right, I remember.
he found
hearing
him. They found him fucking hanging from a tree with a fucking, fucking like he had gotten shot in the chest with a
about-
shotgun.
They're like, he killed himself.
They're like he killed himself. It's like
Killed himself.
so he shot himself with a shotgun after hanging himself
Just to be
or before
totally sure.
or like,
to be totally sure, because
what's your
you
math
know how
here?
it is.
Wait,
You
who was
gotta
it?
Be, you know,
I forgot what the situation was. It was either some informant about like something about the Clinton
Yeah, no,
family,
that's
or
what
it
it
was
was.
some agent like
Yeah.
that had something that was close to the family or something like
Let's
that.
be honest. None of it's like that, hidden. They're just like, yeah.
Yeah, but what's weird is she still goes. You know, she's like she's pretty
She
normal
still gets
on TV.
paid
like,
for
she goes on TV and
speeches
talks
and
all
shit.
the time.
Informant?
She does
No,
interviews.
Hillary Clinton.
No, Hillary Clinton. She's like
Yeah, I mean-
everybody just treats her like she's totally normal, and everybody's like, you know, that interview.
What are you
is
gonna
probably
do?
Like, you're so awesome. You're so awesome. You're beautiful. I love your hair today.
By the way, Hillary, I love your hair today.
I have no difficult question for you on this interview. It is literally like, what's your favorite color? Like no hard questions at all. And the
I
big
wouldn't.
thing, I love that the big joke is when if anybody says anything about her, it's like, I am not suicidal.
On air, they're like, what? No, nothing. I just wanted to make it clear to
I just
everyone.
wanted to
I love
say,
my life.
You know,
I
in
would
my
never do
family,
that.
I have plenty to live for, plenty of goals in my life. Where are you
When
going
that's
with
the
this?
main
Like, I
joke
just
about you?
not really going anywhere
Yeah.
with it. I just
See,
kind of wanted that to be
Jeffrey
said.
Epstein,
Yeah.
he was suicidal. Me, I'm not, though.
Yeah,
No,
not
no,
me.
no,
he was
no.
suicidal. You had nothing. Yeah, come on.
Dude, he was. Not me,
Yeah.
but him.
You could see the depression in his eyes when he was being arrested.
Not me, though. Just to, not
But
me.
if that's the main joke about you, come on.
But
come
that,
on.
that you didn't kill yourself?
Yeah, like that
Tough.
you're so famous for suiciding people that's the like people say that. But
Yeah.
you
Alright.
still have mainstream television interviews. Kind of crazy.
So who knows about
And
the
I am not
fire
suicidal.
story?
This man said, all right, let's jump into it. Let's cut the shit.
Mostly because I'm interested. I actually haven't looked into it very much, and I don't really know that much about it. I've only seen the very
So-
much surface level of like the dude that set himself on fire. I don't even really understand. Like, I guess I understand why, but I don't understand like the place he did it at. If it was interrupting some
did it at
event or
the
something.
Israeli embassy.
Yeah,
Okay.
U.S. Israeli embassy in D.C.
Was there like an event going on, or that it was just like a
Just in
outs-
front
like a
of,
random
it's a
day?
government building. So
Okay.
just in front of a government building in D.C. You can't even, you could barely be on the property, let alone
This cop,
set
the
yourself on
crazy part to me is, so he does it, right? He lights himself on fire. This cop pulls up and is holding a gun to him, right? You know, like, making sure he doesn't do anything crazy while he's on fire. Because I guess he could run at somebody or something like that. But the first responder dude is like, hey, I need fire extinguishers, not a gun. And he was
Dude, still, while they're like putting this guy out, the guy just, dude, he
just
doesn't
holding the
even,
gun
he
to him.
doesn't move. He
even
just
when he's
gun,
on the ground and he's already just laying there. He's still just gun to him right there. Like,
Dude, they were yelling at him while he was on fire. Get on the ground! I'm like, this dude is dying. like,
he's on fire.
like yelling at him to get on the ground.
I think
What the fuck?
You know, there's like those famous pictures of like the what was it? The dude in China, I think in the 90s,
Tibet?
and he's like holding the.
Tibetan monk.
Is that what it was? And he's
Yeah.
like holding the groceries in front of all the tanks. Like,
Oh, not
putting 'em
that.
no,
I
it's
was
like
thinking
a
about
really
the-
famous picture. And
I was
then
thinking about the Tibetan monk that
The
also
Tibetan monk?
self-emulated.
That's
that
well,
was the-
okay.
a
But
pretty
there's like a lot
famous
of these
one.
famous pictures
How the
that
fuck is that a
perfectly
word?
describe a situation, and I think
Sorry.
that one did it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you because I just read self-immolated, and you just said self-immolated. Now, I'm more so in the place of thought of like, is this just a thing that people do? People just set themselves on
one of the
fire
worst-
so much so that we have a fucking term for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have immolation and then doing it to yourself. But
Why
you
the-
do self-immolation?
Fuck.
Well, immolation's just setting something on fire or in person on fire.
Setting a person on fire? Is that what
mean,
immolation is, or
immo-
what is? I'm gonna look that up. Let's
Yeah.
find out.
I like how you looked at me like I would know the
Because you
definition of
fucking said it first.
immolation.
But essentially, like, so the start of the video, because you didn't watch the video, right? So the very start of the video is him basically stating that, man,
I'm
honestly,
doing this for this.
Oh, dude, it's for sacrifice. What the fucking hell? The act of
It's a
killing
for
yourself or
protest.
someone else, or
protest.
of destroying
had nothing to
something,
do with fire.
usually by burning.
Oh, okay. Usually.
Well, all right.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, now we know. That's for the audience. But essentially starts basically by saying a government has failed, right? Because he's a active duty Air Force.
Is he active duty? I thought he was out of duty.
No,
I
he
thought he
was-
was retired.
He was
I
active
know
duty.
he was active.
Oh shit.
He was like
he was young, wasn't he?
25.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, active duty.
A lot of Air Force. I don't know what the contracts are, but I think they're longer than the typical one.
Well, it depends. So there's the 4-year, right? And then you could always choose to extend it over 2 to 4 years, depending. So we don't know when he went in. You know, I don't see. But it was just basically here. Actually, I could get the
I can look it up right
the
now.
full quote of one, like the introductory quote of him talking.
Of him talking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the cop part really got me though, because I was like, "What is it?
Aaron-
He's on the ground. What is he gonna do, dude?"
Wikipedia says a 25-year-old serviceman of the United States Air Force.
Yeah, he was active duty.
Damn. That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on.
His name's Aaron Bushnell.
Aaron Bushnell.
That's
last
fucked up, dude. I
words,
looked up
found
his
it.
name.
Hold up.
There's literally Know Your Meme.
Yep.
It's under a Know Your Meme page.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the world we live in, though.
Yeah, so basically, okay, he talks about how he'll no longer be complicit in genocide.
yeah.
I'm
And-
about to engage in extreme act of protest,
Yeah.
but compared to what people
Are-
have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it's not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal.
Yes. And then, continues to light himself on fire, and he screams Palestine, basically, free Palestine, until he
Falls to the ground.
Was there like
goes unconscious.
not even one fire extinguisher in the vicinity?
Eventually, someone got there with one, but not immediately. No.
I mean, they got one
So, I
not
mean,
in
you would-
time.
You would think that there's like, if it's a government building, that like they would have one like
Yeah, they
somewhere
probably
probably
did.
close to the entrance.
Yeah, I don't know if they really liked him very much.
That's not part of the question. If he's setting himself on
There
fire
probably
on
was
government,
one, is what I'm saying.
well, I guess what I'm trying to get to is that like if they treat themselves as like protectors of this government property or whatever, then like if someone's on fire on the government property, even if you like them or not, you don't fucking
Yeah.
let them die. You put them
No,
out
yeah,
and
for sure.
arrest
No,
them.
there was a first responder that was there, obviously. Fast as he could be, but
Is there gonna be
Well,
any
what's
type
crazy
of
is there's
charges
somebody
for
in
the
their
dude that was
office.
just watching this person? Like the dude that had him at gunpoint? Like
I don't know. I would imagine, depending on how the reactions go to it, then yeah, probably he's gonna.
I
He
don't
might
see
get
it.
fired and have to move to a different
yeah,
city.
I mean I don't
I don't
see
see
him,
it
I don't
happening.
see him facing criminal action, but that's pretty much
No,
just
he-
like
'cause That might be very well their procedure in case he tries. He's
It's
like
not
gonna try
exact-
to run at somebody or something, and
It's not exactly
something crazy,
assisted
but-
suicide, but it's kind of close. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's pretty fucking close. You're watching a dude set himself on fire and then proceeding
Only
to
the
do
cop
nothing.
doesn't have
but
a
watch
fire
him.
extinguisher.
But you can fucking do
Maybe
it.
they
Go
should
get
have
one.
fire
But if
extinguishers.
he would have lived, he would have just been arrested.
That's my point. It's just
for sure.
the
Well, he would
cops
be in the
move.
hospital, but
Cops move isn't to just fucking keep him at gunpoint and just until he burns to death. It should be
Well, I
find
mean-
a fucking extinguisher so you can arrest this person.
what do you think the cop was thinking at the time?
I don't.
Well, hopefully
I'm not, I
not-
don't pretend to know, but I'm just saying is
What do you
that
think he
that's
was thinking? Conjecture.
what he probably what I think he was thinking is how the fuck is this dude setting himself on fire in front of me? Is this really fucking happening
Also,
right now?
like this would be a first.
I don't think your thought process should be to arrest him, though. Your thought process is to put him out to, save his life, not to be like, I'm gonna put this fire out so I can arrest him.
My point is that if your job is to protect the building, and that if you think he's a threat to either himself or the building, then at that point, that's whenever your job is to arrest him.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, shooting him doesn't really put the fire out.
If holding him at gunpoint doesn't protect anybody.
Doesn't know.
him or anyone else. From the
Exactly.
fire,
So
right?
I mean, I'm not saying that I guess hindsight is always 20/20. Don't get me wrong, I get that, but my point is that like at that level, his priority should have been to put the fire out so that you can reprimand the quote unquote suspect of whatever infiltration that you think is happening, if it's just a protest or if you think it's something greater is going on. Because I mean, if it is a government building, there's always the conversation of like whether it's a terroristic attack.
Yeah, exactly. which I'm
Especially if it's
sure-
on an
yeah.
embassy and
I
shit
mean, I'm
like
sure
that.
some of his actions had to do with specifically where he is an officer at.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that is
Something
know,
that he
like, who
maybe
knows?
saw overseas or something like that.
Well, that there it is Washington, and
Yeah.
it's like there's they probably are trained to deal with like acts of terrorism, so that might have been their protocol for that because it's like, all right, he's on fire, he's next to a government building.
But isn't that like
He
a
could have
lack of
bomb around his
protocol?
chest or something like that, or I don't know why you would stand 5 feet from him if that were the case, but
Yeah, but that's I guess where I'm at is that you would think that maybe there would be a protocol set in place, but that video almost seems like there was a
for
lack of
self-immolation.
protocol. I mean, if
I
a
don't
fucking
know.
putting out a fire, I don't know, at the very fucking basic level, if there's a fire that goes
He's
on
like,
in
"Don't
public,
move.
we should
The
have
fire
a fucking
department
way
is
to
on the
put that
way.
fire out.
Don't
Yes.
move.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know. I get.
This is for your own good.
It's fucked up, but I think that it did make a point. Hopefully to a lot of people, the news didn't cover it very well. They were just,
why would they
Oh,
do
not
that?
all.
There's a lot of
Why
people-
would they do that?
there's a lot of people trying to twist and turn. Like, oh, this guy had this problem, or
Oh,
you
he
know,
was depressed. Now, yeah, he's got
a whole bunch of shit popping up. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, fuck that.
But I mean, was it the third party? One of the third party candidates? Yeah. Cornell. What's his name? Something Cornell. He's one of the third party candidates, but he was like responding to it basically just like, dude, there's a bigger issue here at hand our government's not tackling. Like we're
Well,
seeing.
That's why he's third party because he doesn't support the wars.
Yeah, I mean, third party.
And people that don't support the wars are probably not gonna win.
Do you think even if popular vote were to win, like if third party won popular vote, that they would win?
No, they'd find a way out of that for sure.
I mean,
They'd
ideally,
just assassinate him on Kennedy.
we're entering we've already probably been in it for a long time, but if we haven't been, then we're definitely entering a position where popular vote almost means kind of nothing. Like if you can have
for
troll
sure.
farms that fucking literally farm votes all day and all night, then like what is a popular vote? Fucking Donkey Kong could win the presidency at that point. If a troll got their hands on the voting system, put one ballot in that wasn't there, and then changed everyone's ballots to that ballot could say anybody's name.
Dude was
But like that's why I can see the argument to where like popular vote maybe not can exist is because all of these things are happening on electronic systems that have been proven to be tampered with.
So basically, you think it's all predetermined, essentially.
I know it's all predetermined. Well, I guess I can't prove that it's all predetermined, but that's what I believe.
100% believe it's predetermined.
I don't
There's
vote.
not a single doubt in my mind.
I also
'Cause if you-
don't vote.
If you
but-
think about,
so
there was
take
no like
that
really
information
election
with-
this
as you will.
cycle.
Dude,
Did you see anybody really like other than what
This
was
is probably one of the first like election cycles that there hasn't really been like campaigning, but I think that's mostly because the
There-
people are just like, well,
They
I
got
mean,
two
Biden
options.
Biden wants to run again, and nobody's topping Trump, so I guess we don't really need to campaign, right? We know who's going. We know who's going to the show. It's fucking 2015. It's goddamn Golden State Warriors and the Cavaliers are in the finals again. It's like I don't want to see Steph and LeBron again, so throw somebody else in the fire. Let's see what we can see.
But there
see
were people
happen.
campaigning. They gave up so early.
Yeah,
No,
because they
I-
know
yeah.
they're not gonna. I mean,
They became like supporters of the people that they were campaigning against.
It's
which
because
is,
it
I mean, that's happened before. That's not.
happens all the time.
But it hasn't happened this stark, I don't think. I
It-
think there has been in the past like people that
It's early.
that like at
It's
least
early.
challenged the, I guess, quote unquote norm pick or what's
What's
supposed
crazy
to
is
happen.
they
You know
broke
what I mean?
record for the oldest people like running. You know the old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they only broke the previous record, which was also them.
Yeah, bro.
The
They're
last election.
they're really Steph and LeBron out here.
Yeah, they broke their own record.
Hey man,
You
I
know what
mean, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
I mean, it's just crazy. And what's wild is like what's embarrassing. You know, I'm not like pro Russia or anything, so I don't want it to come off that way. But what's embarrassing is whenever you watch the interview with Putin, he's very good at talking.
Talking about
like
the
he composes himself
fucking-
well. Tucker
the Carlson one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
interview with him. Like Putin conducts himself well. He's good at talking. He's very
It's
like,
calculated.
he's there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then when you look at our world leader, who at the moment they're basically head to head. And tensions are escalating. And this guy can't form a sentence.
I mean, but I
He
think
can't
that
even walk the right direction. It's like, dude,
I think the difference
it's
there.
embarrassing.
It is embarrassing, but I think the difference there is that Putin is more of like a figurehead, where he is like representative of the party that he runs, whereas our president of the United States is more so just like a figure. It's not. He doesn't really run
No, there's
anything.
no
it's not
way-
really
no,
indicative
don't
of
get me wrong,
anything.
I don't think he's making a single decision.
But that's what I'm
other
saying.
than
is-
what ice cream he wants.
But I think even the American public, as well as I think the majority of international public, understands that that the president of the United States is not the big bad of the United States. There's a boardroom full of people that make the decisions for everybody, and those are the people you really have to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a president that made most of it. I mean, well, they're not really supposed to make all of this.
They're the face of the decisions, but they don't
Yeah.
make any of them.
Yeah,
In
they're
my
not supposed
opinion.
Who knows, honestly, at this point, how.
Whereas Putin
we have
is the face of
corporations
the
making
decisions.
That's what we have.
Whereas Putin is the face of the decisions that he makes.
Yeah.
That's where the difference becomes, is that like whenever you're comparing the two, it's always going to be like, whereas Putin looks like he's more calculated, it's because he is. Like the people that we're putting in power aren't they're not powerful. They don't know how to run a country. They don't have any. And
Obviously.
again, well, yes, but what I'm saying is that like it's kind of the idea that we throw in a different monkey into the fire fucking every 4 years, and the first 2 years that person's in office, they spend tearing down what the last person did. So like
Which is
we're
unfortunate because
we're playing catch up at all times.
It's a good thing because it makes sure you don't progress in the wrong direction, just too fast. So like 2 steps forward and a step back, just to make sure you're not going in the complete wrong direction.
way I see
is
it,
the way
though-
it's supposed to work.
But
you know what I
lately,
mean?
it's been 1 step forward, 10 steps back.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, do they even really do those cabinets even do anything, or is it like when you think of like our Congress, how long they've been in charge, and they've been it's like
corporations.
and then
man.
that's what I was gonna say, all the big corporations and the lobbying that's not
Exact-
supposed to be
Which-
happening, but that is,
Yeah.
and all the money that's going places that we don't see, So essentially, it's like even if we voted third party, which I mean, I'm
It's
probably
like we
going
talked
to
about
just
BlackRock.
because
It's like
to
that.
make myself feel better, some little decisions, right?
what it is. At
Well, and I think if more people do that, at least
again,
it'll make
my
a
opinion.
point.
Yeah.
At least it'll make a point. Like if everybody went and did that and was like, "We're sick of these," and we're sick of this, and it was just everybody, I think that would make a strong point of like, okay, so we're sick of this. Let's do something about it. Like
But if the third party even wins, it's like the rest of the government's like, oh, you think you did something?
but they can't.
Congrats.
They can't bluff it. Like they can't.
Why not?
Lie
Why
about
makes you think that?
Well, I mean, they can. No, they definitely can. But if there's people out in the street just like fuck both of you guys, which is really what we need, then that would change some things. You can't. Like, I mean, if literally everybody was out in the streets protesting both of these fuckers, then they
But
can't do anything about that.
that's an extra step. Like
And they can arrest
protesting,
us.
and just voting differently are two completely different things. You know what I mean? Like like you can make a subtle silent protest just by balloting, marking a different box on a piece of paper whenever you go and put your vote in.
Yeah.
That can be a level of a protest saying I don't want either one of these two in office, so I'm gonna just vote for this motherfucker that's a third party. I don't even know who it is. It's just I know that it's not them. That's a level of protest, but it's even more to go out into the
Yeah,
streets
no,
and
people
do
need to. It's the
actually
only way anything
protest.
happens now.
So
Light
It's
yourself
the
on
only
fire.
way anything happens.
hey,
now.
man, maybe if there
Metaphorically,
causes
maybe,
No, someone did that.
someone
though. You-
literally
No, I
did
know,
it though.
but also I'm saying let's try not to do that.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
know.
I mean,
Like
you can only try so hard
I-
in
it's
this
weird
economy.
For me though, because that whole situation is like people, the whole free Palestine thing and just like that. I mean, not to say that's the hill he was choosing to die on. It's just it
It's
is a very
literally the hill he chose
chose
to
to die
die
on,
on.
yeah.
But that is
But-
it's fun.
yeah, but it's like
with passion.
Palestine is a huge issue. It's just the most prevalent one because it's the one that it's easiest to hyper focus on. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
the one we can see the most happening right now. Realistically, though, it's hard because it brings light to. I mean, so many other issues where becomes a lot more difficult to focus your energy on because there's just so many. Our country's in an enormous amount of debt. Healthcare is absolutely in the fucking garbage. Inflation's rising, fucking Incredibles are
$200
terrible.
gets you half a basket of groceries.
But I mean,
Yeah.
it's gotten to the point where like that first one doesn't matter.
Rent,
Our debt doesn't matter. It's never mattered. It's never going to matter. It's been so incredibly it's trillions and trillions. It's an unfathomable amount of money that we owe to who knows who the fuck we owe to. Mostly China, probably. But at the end of the day, it's like that. You can't even count that as something that anyone's worried about. There's not
But
a
lot
single
of the
person.
big American companies in like pharmaceutical industry and stuff, we give a lot of those countries that we owe. Like those companies do a lot for them, so it pretty much counteracts our debt to them.
But
'Cause
also,
they
it's
rely on us for that a lot.
additionally that part. But additionally, it's not like anybody. If any person that we owe, if any country that we owe money to, fucking China said, "Hey, we're trying to collect that debt." It's not like it's like, all right, well, I mean, we got a nuke for you. What's up, dog? Like, we don't got no bread for you. We got nothing for you. We just sent it all to Ukraine. But that's a different story.
All
And
the
even
aid
that
we
is
have,
like
yeah.
whenever you talk about like how it's just the hot, like it's not a hot button topic. It's just like the newest
important.
thing.
I mean, it's important.
to-
Don't get me wrong. Like, dude, genocide's awful. And
It is.
What Israel's doing is
Yeah, it's
absolutely
definitely
horrible.
important.
But it goes
There
to
is other
show.
stuff going on too, though.
It goes
you
to
know.
show how many genocides are currently happening on the planet that we don't know about, that
Oh,
are
there's
being
a
reported.
lot of
There's-
small ones in these
I mean,
smaller countries
Taiwan
that
right
people don't
now,
talk
bro.
about.
Hong Kong. What's going
Taiwan's
on
one
in
that
Hong
people
Kong?
don't talk about. Like, it definitely gets talked about, but
It got
up there with,
overbrushed.
not up there with Palestine and stuff like that. But that's been Taiwan's been a thing for a long time. People don't just
Like
don't talk about
5-10
it 'cause
years
it's-
now. The
it's
Hong
been
Kong
kinda
shit.
like on simmer for a
That too.
long time,
Yeah.
not on boil.
And
yeah.
then you
know
also
what I
have the
mean?
Ukraine Russia shit still going on, and you have the whole shit at the fucking China India border. It's like there's constantly a bunch of shit going on. For us, it's easy
We
for
really could very well be easily moving towards a world war. Like,
But
very
that's
possibly.
the thing is, it's like it almost
Because
becomes like
it is starting. To
it's
boil,
almost
like, a
worse
lot
than
of it's
that.
starting
It's
to
almost
boil.
worse than that. It's
the
like
pieces are getting played in the right position.
Just
put
like
it this
for that.
way: if you had a world war, I'm gonna bring it back to like comic book shit, and I know you hate fucking when I do this shit, but I don't care. Put it this way: if you had like the Justice League, right? Say if like a world war is like the put it this way: it's like the Justice League is all the countries like came together. It's like we are fighting for this, and y'all are the enemy that we're fighting against.
Yeah.
It's like the Justice League as a unit fights like they're more powerful because you can like use each other as teams. Like you can go like and build strategies together against the enemy. Da 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 da. But it's almost like in today's world, you're not even fighting against the whole Justice League. You just gotta split them up and just beat Superman by himself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is. It's like just to like kind of bring it out into the example. It's like these different modes, like the Ukraine, Russia, Taiwan, China, fucking
China, India,
Palestine,
Israel.
like fucking us and ourselves type shit. It's like we're like these places are being sectioned off where it doesn't have to even grow into like a World War III. It could just be
Well-
its own fucking like there's so many sectioned off wars happening at the same time we can't even help each other.
So that's kind of what I was saying, because I don't know how much y'all know about World War One, but everybody's like, oh, when did World War One start? And it's like when Franz Ferdinand got assassinated. Now, that's not when it started. there was things going on everywhere. And
Well, it was the
all of
Cold
us
War
were
up until
connected
that
at
point.
that point because instant travel, or closer to instant travel, had been invented slightly before. So everything started to get more connected, and there was a world economy for the first time, right? Like a real world economy. And all of a sudden, he got assassinated, and then all those little things that were already happening, everything just blew up. And it was kind of the same thing with World War II, except it was made, it is
There was
easier
some
to
more
just be
clear
like, Hitler and Japan did it. Like,
There was also some more clear splashes for World War
yeah,
II.
it was much more clear. But World War One, it was a simmer for a long time, and that just set the fuse for the dynamite. You know what I mean?
Right. But also, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, though, is it's like, it doesn't have to be this thing where it's like, I'm going to help this country because they're in a, it's like, no. We're all just going to get fucking attacked either by ourselves or by our neighboring countries and have zero availability to help one another. And things are going to get real fucking dicey.
It's really hard for me because it's just one of those things where it's like I look at that and I'm like, dude, it's terrible what's happening. Like they're destroying everything over there. But I also am sitting here and like, dude, like we don't have it nearly as bad as what's going on over there. Our shit's getting dismantled as we fucking
But how are we
speak.
supposed to help anybody if we can't help ourselves? It's one of those things, right?
Yeah.
That your parents told you about, and like everybody talks about. It's like if you want to help people, that's great, but you can't help people if you're not in a position to help. You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to help if you don't have the faculty to be able to do that? And we kind of do right now, but we're running out.
And I'm also where I'm at is like it's a point where like we want to be so involved, but we're so far removed from each other. You know what I mean? Like as people, it's easy to go and be like free Palestine or like go to the street. Go to the people who are going to the streets to protest. I mean, I'll give them credit, but a lot of people are just like, hey, yada 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 yada. It's like, well, are you going out and actually trying to help your local community? Are you going out like what about the people who have these family members?
But then it's like that conversation goes into the place where it's like, well, then am I supposed to like either one, not care about this, or two, only say that I care about this if I'm willing to do something about it? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, because it becomes a conversation where it's like, well, I can't put all, like we had said earlier, it's like I can't put all my energy in every place. Like there's
No, you
so
have
many things
percentages,
going
like,
on,
have to
and you
pick up
and
percent.
right, but you don't want to be the person that's like has a lack of empathy whenever something's going on. It's like, well, no, free Palestine, they
especially
shouldn't
if
be
people are
going on.
looking and go, "Oh,
It's
you
like,
hate
well, I
them,
didn't see
huh?"
you in the street protesting. It's like, well, I'm sorry, I was at this other protest. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's
that type of thing.
on that same topic though, where I was also going, but like to piggyback off what you're saying, it is hard too. I think for us to expect everyone to kind of be on that like hoorah when there's people that have like 3-4 kids working
Right.
2 jobs. It's like what energy do you expect them to have to hey.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
no,
let me.
seriously.
They're like, what? You're not supporting? You're not out there? They're like, dude, I barely can afford to,
I'm exhausted when I get off work.
Yeah.
And my only off day, I just want to sit there and not even think.
And if
You
you have
know?
kids, you can't even do
Oh
that.
yeah, and you got kids too. Oh, put that on top of it. Yeah, for sure. And then kids brings a whole other thing.
But I mean, beyond that, it becomes the conversation of like, how do you give a fuck about shit? Is it only going out in the streets and protesting and being on the front lines, or is it as simple as posting a black square? Where is the line? You know what I mean? Because there's anytime you see like somebody doing the thoughts and prayer shit, you feel like this is very ingenuine. But it's not always ingenuine. Maybe this is truly the
It feels
extent of this
trendy.
person.
You mean not maybe
Yeah,
not that
no.
it's not genuine.
It
but
feels trendy.
trendy.
It feels like you're just trying to like put your 2 cents in, like the look at me, I care about this type of thing. But then there's also the flip side of that coin. It's like maybe you do have kids, and this is the extent of how much energy you can give this cause. Maybe there are so many things. Maybe maybe you're a homeless person that is trying to figure out how you're gonna eat today. Maybe you don't have a fucking phone to be able to post a black square on your Instagram. You know what I mean? Like there are so many things that come into the frame of like, well, no, I didn't do that, but that doesn't mean I'm a fucking bad person. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's weird.
I think also on that same topic there, it's like when people want celebrities, like you're not speaking on it. It's so easy to speak on it, but it's also like if someone is coming from a place where like it is such a complex issue. Don't get me wrong, they could in their hearts be like, I think this is a terrible thing, but if they also feel like, hey, I don't really know the full extent, which none of us know
No,
the
no
full
one does.
extent
Yeah, we don't.
of what's actually going on. We just see a lot of murder and genocide, which is terrible, and it hurts a lot of people's hearts. Like, it's fucking awful. No one should have to witness that. That shouldn't even be a thing that exists. Unfortunately, it does. But it's also tough when you're like, hey, this celebrity should be speaking on it. It's like, okay, well,
I
would you
think
want?
they should shut up about it.
Yeah, it's like if they're not really,
You're
if
not
they don't,
responsible enough
I think
to do
you
that,
can
and
use your-
everyone listens to you. You're
I think
not
you can
responsible
use your
enough to say
platform to
opinion, like,
I think you can use your platform to spread awareness without making it pretentious and about
Yeah.
yourself. Because like that, there is a difference where it's like I stand with. It's like, what? Why can't we just discuss what's happening?
like, really?
Give
Yeah,
us
have you
the
been there?
facts about what's happening. Stop putting your fucking place in this event because you have nothing to do with it. You're just trying to attach yourself to it because it's trendy, like you said,
I would
trendy
say
right now.
get a map and look at how far LA is from wherever you're talking about, because you probably don't know much about it. Not
Well,
you. I'm saying
no, I
like
know what you're talking
celebrities,
about.
and where
you
I'm
know what I
at
mean?
is just like, there's probably activists every day out there like that are knowledgeable on what's going on, that are working every day, and no one's giving those people working hard. No one's giving a fuck about them, but they're like, this celebrity I listen to every day didn't say something. Yeah, but there's a ton of other people who actually are putting in the footwork to make some shit happen. Why don't you maybe focus your energy more on the positive shit that's going on rather than focusing on some celebrity who has nothing to do with any of this shit and what they haven't said. Focus on the positive shit that people are trying to do and cultivate. and
Yeah, I
maybe
think that's a good thing to do.
focus
Send
your
some
energy
money
more
for
towards
food,
that.
Or
What?
no, don't even send money for food. Send food.
Yeah,
Shit like that. Do
but it's
something
also
like
tough
that.
because it's like donate money and all this shit, or donate
No,
food.
don't donate. Go buy things and send them
Yeah.
over.
And what's tough right now though is there's a lot of aid being blocked
Yeah.
into Gaza, into fucking
Of course it is.
Palestine. A lot of aid and resources are being blocked. So at this point, it's tough because you could be like, "What are you doing?" It's like the extent of what most of us can do is just stop the war, and even if by the numbers at this point, we'd have to be like
Are
a
they
tremendous amount of
essentially
numbers.
I don't know, but are they essentially doing a siege on Palestine?
I mean, it's realistically just a fucking. I
Like-
mean, genocide
I mean, you guys know what
is
a
the
siege
word.
right?
Yeah, but I mean,
Like,
realistically,
not letting food or anything in or out. Like people
Yeah.
can't go in or
it's kind of that, but it's less a siege. It's more so
The cleansing.
It's more so a targeting tactic. Like
Well, I know
It
that.
is a-
but
it is a
siege would
siege,
imply
but
that,
not
like,
in the-
they're trapping them into one area.
Yes,
Correct.
And
then yes,
they can't get food in.
100%.
So
That's what they're
basically,
doing.
Not like they don't have supplies for themselves in there, and slowly everything they have there is disappearing. And
Basically
people
what-
can't get in or out.
what I'm
Yes.
saying
Right,
is,
you're creating
yes,
a wall.
Yeah.
yes, it's
Yeah.
a siege, but calling it a siege would be dismissive of what it really is.
Well, a
which
siege
is-
is just a military tactic.
I
like, just
understand,
like
but
that.
what I that yes, I'm agreeing
Obviously
with
it's
you.
genocide. I'm just saying, like,
What I'm saying is even calling
strategically, I
it a
didn't know what they were doing.
genocide is almost like not even enough of what's actually happening, because what's actually happening is it's like a strategic event of genocide. It's not even just like as much of just knocking on every door until you find every Jew in Germany or whatever. It's literally just like, all right, well, what we can do is we can corner them into this zone, and once they're in that zone, we'll bomb them and tell them that it's safe over here. And then once they go to that zone, then we bomb that zone. And then
That's
once
what
they
they're doing.
scatter
Start
from
doing,
that
like,
zone,
different
then we
areas,
bomb
too, than
those
just,
zones.
There,
They're-
they've started with other people too, right?
I
you
mean,
mean?
the surrounding areas, yes, because I mean, I think at that
Like,
level,
I don't know where Lebanon is at, but like, where is it?
let's find
Where's
out.
Lebanon? 'Cause
together.
I know people are getting bombed in Lebanon, but that might just be right. I mean,
That's a different war going on.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
'Cause
don't
Lebanon
know.
has been at war as well.
Yeah,
I think that's more like a
for sure.
Egypt,
That whole-
Lebanon.
yeah, yeah.
Though that's
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Egypt and Lebanon. We can double check
I
though.
thought it was Syria, but I might be wrong.
That's what. Maybe that's. I think that's what I thought it was. How many fingers does America have its hand dipped into?
Yeah, I remember
How many
Syria.
pies?
Hey, man. I don't know. I think something that is increasingly clear about all of this, like that's been going on, is how much people are willing to speak on a topic that they have absolutely
It was
no
Israel.
knowledge about.
Lebanon was at war with
That's
Israel
what I
not that long
okay.
ago.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. No, it's other people
Still
too.
now, actually,
Yeah.
they're still at war with Israel
No,
too.
because I just saw a video of this dude on TikTok and a bomb just came through his house, and it was in Lebanon. Not
Yeah, I forgot they just bombed somewhere in Lebanon
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
watching a
recent-
video and he's on TikTok live and he's just like talking and his friend is fucking. It's just like boom, and his whole. I mean, he was okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how okay he was, but his like it was on the right side of the screen, and then his house went kind of dark for a second. Came back, his hair's like all fucked up. He's like, and like, it's just. I was like, wait, but I don't know where Lebanon is in comparison of.
It's like right next to Syria, north of Israel.
Okay.
It's just really hard because it's like there's a point where the country's like, hey, we give you the ability to actually talk out on these things. You know what I mean? Like we're doing you a favor
Thank God
by
people
allowing,
have cell phones now. Like that's a thing.
right?
You know,
That
because you
we-
can see it's like when the Russia-Ukraine war first started, like a lot of Russians had their cell phones, and Ukraine soldiers have their cell phones. So, and the way they were talking about it, especially even some of the Russian soldiers, like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Like, I didn't ask for this. I don't.
mean, a lot of
care. And
American
they're
soldiers
texting
don't
their
wanna be-
parents, and they're like, I don't want to be here. Like, I don't care.
Oh, they got drafted heavy though for that.
Yeah, for sure,
don't even
definitely.
know.
Yeah,
Fuck.
definitely.
Drafted heavy.
And some of those people, you got cousins that live there or something like that, or
You know what
like
sucks,
distant
though,
family
is-
and stuff like that. It's
What I'm seeing right now is a lot of posts being like, oh, like enlistments are down.
If you guys are watching this and you guys know what good sources are for fucking trying to figure out some of this military shit, link me because I'm reading a bunch of shit and none of these seem like valid sources. But-
probably not. They're probably, I mean, if it's on Google especially, then probably.
Yeah,
Why not?
I'm just not with. I'm not. I don't want
What
to
were we talking
repeat
about?
what I'm reading.
Not.
Sorry.
So the draft because they
Oh, yeah,
Russia's
I was-
drafting people, right?
Thank you. It was enlistments are down for our military, which only when I see a lot of that stuff, I'm like, oh, well, of course it's down, but like it's what I really
Things are
see is
working
like,
very differently than they used to, even for the military. If Keegan was here, he'd tell you that like it's being ran differently because of the people that are in charge.
yeah, but what I yeah, that's probably fair too.
But also,
Sorry,
what I would,
Keegan, if I'm speaking out of turn, but I
another
think he would say that.
another thing that I was told recently that was kind of a different conversation. It was about the workforce, not really about the military, but I'm sure it can be applied towards the same thing whenever you're talking about kids that are coming out of high school or coming out of college that are joining the military, and then getting thrown into situations that we're dealing with in today's world. Is the idea that a lot of the kids coming out of high school that are 18 and 19 are coming out of high school with mentalities of like a 15 to 16-year-old. And a lot of the kids coming out of college that are 22 to 24 are coming out of college with the mentality of an 18 to 20-year-old. So realistically, you have the body of a person that should be able to do these things and can perform tasks that you're being told to do, but your mentality is not there yet. And it's been seen in the workforce a lot recently as far as like blue collar work.
They just don't want to do real work, honestly.
It's not just that though. It's also how you view work. Work
Yeah.
used to be viewed, I think, as like a necessity. Is like, well, no, nobody likes it, but this is what we do. Now work is being viewed as it's like, well, I don't
I don't
have
wanna
to
do
do this.
Well, what are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. I don't look at it like that. Work is work.
But even
But
just
on
that
the military side of
yes,
it, though,
that's what I'm saying.
on
Is
the military
applying
side of
that
it,
mentality to the military
I think people
side.
are coming out and being like, I don't like what we're doing. I don't want to do that.
that's a lot of it, yeah. But
I don't want to do that.
my point
And
being,
there's the military has actually even been like they're reaching out to a lot of people trying to get them,
hefty.
and people are kind of just like, no,
Like the
I
trash
don't like
bags.
this stuff.
Yeah, but what I was
Like-
going with that is like that probably means there's gonna be a hefty draft.
It'd be
It
very
does-
difficult. For
I don't
them to
know
do
if-
that, I think.
I don't know if
'cause
it's
really don't-
indicative of that. I think that it would be that is a factor that could lead someone in the military to say like, wait, hey, we should have a draft, but it's probably like you said, it's probably not something that's gonna fly in today's
I don't
society.
think they'll have to, because let me propose a thing to you. So a lot of the people they target for enlistment in the military are poor people.
I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Are poor people, immigrants, and stuff like that. Because one of the things, at least
So
in
do
the
you
Marine
think with this
Corps is-
migrant increase, it's
What do you, I mean, I'm
You want
just saying,
citizenship?
Like when
You want
my brother
citizenship?
graduated in the Marine Corps, they had a whole ceremony for people that were specifically the boots that were, which is someone in boot camp, that were getting their citizenship because they finished boot camp. It was a whole ceremony. We watched it. It was very nice to watch. It was really cool. They looked very worked up about it, obviously, as they
Were
should
you
be.
telling me about this? Somebody was telling me about this.
And I mean, they target. They're taking advantage of people. Whenever that's why they go to the high schools and they're like, "You're gonna get this. You're gonna get the job you want. It's gonna be an adventure." But they don't stop there. They go to the poor people and they say, "You're gonna be able to buy a house when you get out. You know, you're not gonna pay
You can put your kids through
property
college.
taxes or whatever. You're gonna be able to go to college, or it'll
Put
go
your kids
towards
through college, yeah.
college. No, they target certain people that they can take advantage of. And I'm just saying the immigrant thing is a little weird. That's
Yeah.
a big coincidence.
I mean,
Because no, I
yeah.
don't think we would be okay with the draft. We won't have to be because there'll be plenty of people that will do it. They'll be like, look at all these benefits you're gonna get.
and that's just
And
the
it won't
incentives
even
that
be
are
our
in place
people that are
now.
dying. We'll just throw other people like we have in Ukraine. We don't have to go over there and die. We'll just throw other people's people.
It also makes you question why things like the Hazelwood Act are even in place. Like, why are these government programs even a thing?
I mean, I'm not
They're
saying don't
just
take. I'm
incentive-
not saying don't take care of our veterans. Like those are the,
No,
some
no,
of the
no,
number
no.
one people we should.
I'm
take
not
care of.
exactly.
But it's just the incentive.
It's
that they're
just
using.
incentivizing
it's
it.
just a little sketchy that, you know, like.
I mean, but then you gotta think that's like a tales of time, right? Like even like guards back in
no,
the
it
day.
is.
You
It's
know
a
what I mean? Like
classic thing that just always works.
military and guards. You know, like back even like Roman times and shit. Like you weren't living glorious, but like you what?
got
But
fed
you got to
every
stay
day,
in the
which a
castle.
lot of people didn't.
You got to sleep in a decent
actual
bed.
Clothes. You had at least a cot, which is better than the ground.
You had power back then. You could fucking go and fucking give me your shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, really. No, yeah.
But yeah.
They would
So I
give
mean,
you, you got a lot of them. You know, you get a certain amount of alcohol. You know, because they drank a lot of beer back then because the water wasn't safe to drink. So you get beer, you get food. Structure in your life.
when you get incentives.
Probably come out with a pension or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know if they had that back then, but
No, they definitely had like a form of it for sure.
That's good.
No, I mean,
but you did have
like I
incentives
said,
to join the force. You
I
know, to
just-
protect.
Yeah.
the
it's just
yeah.
that some of the
And
incentives.
on top of that, for country, you know, as a little cherry on the cake.
It's
Yeah.
also some of the incentives like are kind of like backhanded to a degree. Like if you think about the Hazelwood Act is that if you live in Texas, specifically Texas, and you're a former veteran, I believe I think you had to have finished your term. I don't know the specifics on like how long you had to have served, but then your kids get 150 college credit hours.
Well, if you get
At
like
any college,
there's
in
a
the
bunch
state
of different
Texas.
type of discharges, dishonorable discharges.
Yeah. That's
I
why
have a
said,
couple people who got dishonorably discharged, but like it wasn't a detrimental level, and they still get like one of their things where they.
So
can
that's what I was gonna
go to
say is
college.
I don't know the specifics on like the terms of what you have to do to meet those deals, but like to think that like they're like no, yeah, and your kids are set up, you're set up with a GI Bill for college. It's like, so what you're telling me is that basically you're incentivizing me to come sign away my life so that whenever I do die, whenever I do die under your name and behind your
If.
gun, no, not if, then my kids are taken care of. That's what I'm signing away here without knowing it. Type of shit.
Kind
Yeah.
of. I mean,
Hopefully
when
I
you're not in war-
won't.
When we're not in wartime, it looks like a pretty gold opportunity, and
Hope-
obviously it is for.
Hopefully I won't
have
die.
Some friends I can say it's been a pretty golden opportunity for them. They've used it properly and done their part and then just been like, all right, now I'm going to use my benefits that I got, and that's
Yeah.
great. That's cool.
One of our friends actually.
But
he's
whenever it's in a
about to
time where
graduate.
it's like 80% of you are going to die, then it looks weird.
Yes.
You know what
right.
I mean? Like then
Right.
it looks weird.
But also, yeah, like the whole recruitment to the military thing is a very strange like side of life. I definitely have always thought that, like, as far as going into high schools, fucking going into like fucking
Their brains are
underprivileged communities and things like that to try to find, like you said, like homeless people, people that they can
malleable.
offer a quote unquote better life or adventure or travel the world. You can see the shining sea. Like it's all of the what's the word I'm looking for? Whenever you kind of like boost something's like value up in theory, and then whenever you get there, like reality's often disappointing.
They're definitely.
There's a word for it, but
Yeah.
that act has always just been very like
I would
gross.
just call it propaganda, but
Yeah, I guess that's one word. But
I
it's
was
always
thinking,
just been gross.
fucking whatchamacallit promises. Empty promises. That's what
they're
I'm
not.
thinking.
They're not. But the thing is, where they get you,
Not
is they're
empty.
not quite empty. So
No.
that's why people keep believing it, because they're not really empty. You know, like I mean, you will.
But it's
and
tough
some
too
people
because
love it. Some people love their experience in the military.
I was gonna say, look,
And
it's
then
it's
some
tough
people just
because
hate it. Everybody
we
has
have
a different one.
yeah,
you know?
we have war. It's tough because it's just like we can't have nobody. Not, you know what I mean? Like they just can't have zero people. As much as you're like, dude, war sucks. We need to get like the military's stupid. It's like
Yeah, I don't
Alright,
want this to
well-
sound like we're not people for veterans. Like I think
No, that's
we
what I'm saying.
we
It's like
all are, right?
shout out to all the people who went through and made it. Even the people who went war.
We've had that
we just
conversation
had
before.
Keegan on here. It's like we're
We
about
should
it.
do
We're
more
about it.
for veterans. The people who are out, we don't do enough for them. If we're being honest, A lot of
Right.
them get left in the dust.
But we've had that conversation before where it's like, in theory, wars shouldn't be a thing. That we shouldn't be killing people over territory, over
impossible.
religion. But you do have to have a military as a country because other people will not agree with you whenever you say that
Or
war
you're
is
gonna
not
get
a thing that should
strong-armed
be
and taken
necessary.
advantage of. I mean, it's the same thing as same thing as a lot of other stuff. Like you don't want to be taken advantage of, so you have to have a way to defend yourself. That's just a fact.
I mean, it's
Because
just
people will try to take advantage.
it's like a as
That's human
below
nature.
as above so below type of mentality. There's the idea that you can use as a quick analogy of why you want a military to defend against wars as why you want a gun to defend against home invaders.
How's that? Can you explain the as below, above, so below?
Well,
as
that
above
was
so
a weird
below
Into
is what I'm
that, yeah.
what I'm saying is it's just like an analogy that you can see is like you would want a gun in your home to protect against a home invader in the same way that you would want a military to protect your country
Oh
from
yes,
a
that is actually
country
yes.
that
so
would
the micro
invade
does
your
describe
country.
the macro. Yeah,
That's
so
what
that
I'm
is
saying by
as
that.
above,
Okay.
so below. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the smaller
the-
situation describes the situation as a whole on a
If you-
larger scale.
If you treat the military of the country as a tool that you can use to protect that country, then that's what that gun is to you in your home. It's just that that tool is being manipulated in ways that it shouldn't be. Right now, that gun that's in your home is being shot on a daily basis in any direction, and hopefully the bullets are not hitting people.
Yeah, it is tough.
You guys go to the shooting range? Do y'all ever do that?
I don't.
I need to more. I want to.
Have you ever been?
I've been to a lot of shooting ranges whenever I was an Eagle Scout.
I've shot quite a few guns. I've never been to the shooting range.
But I
I
haven't
hated
been
all
in-
of that. what did you say?
I've shot quite a few guns, but I've never been to the shooting range.
Really?
I chimed in.
So-
I'm
I'm assuming you
people
did
that
that like
heard
on your lease
all.
or something?
Nah, just
Did you-
someone's land.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
just like
okay,
they have
sorry, I said
land.
deer lease, but like yeah.
Yeah, someone has a bunch of land, and you just go out and
Yeah,
they're
for
like,
sure.
"Hey, I have guns.
Texas,
you want to
am
go
I right?
shoot shit?"
That's how I learned. That's exactly.
Yeah,
how
you're
I
like,
Texas
"Yeah,
has
let's
shit.
go shoot shit." Yeah.
I learned with cops though, which is interesting.
I mean, that's usually like I've heard quite a few of those types
Yeah.
of stories. You know, you're like, yeah, I mean, 'cause it's like they're like, if you're gonna be accompanied by anyone who's gonna,
Nah, dude,
No, yeah,
fuck
no,
12.
that's just like it was my friends' dads and stuff, and you know, like
gotta go shoot
we
some
would go-
guns.
No, it was like we went up to. I mean, they call it a deer lease, but we didn't do any hunting. It was more just a place to go get away, and we just hung out and had fires and literally
it's
just
a good
chilled
time.
out. And
Yeah.
you'd go up, and there was a certain area you had where it was like a mound. Like a
It's
dirt mound or
funny. It's
whatever.
funny to think that like
That was my
it's-
first couple times at least.
it's funny to think that it's called a deer lease because y'all actually were there hunting, but they were just so bad that they were like, "No, we're not here hunting. We're just here shooting."
Well, it's cool because he actually only had that land because it was like a getaway thing, and his granddad had that land and passed it down to him. And so there was a small cabin, right? Like we called it the old one, and that's where they would let us sleep. And then they slept in this one that he handled by himself, and it was just like this. You're starting to look at, it's starting to look a little bit like a house, right? And it was freshly built, and he's still building out there. Like, I mean, and we'd go out there, and he would rent these big power things and be like cutting down the trees, literally like refining the wood, like making the planks out of the tree, building the house, bringing up the insulation, doing that.
I remember when I used to
literally
do
just
that.
building a house completely by himself. Well, I mean, not by himself because he had help sometimes, but it was actually a beautiful thing to watch, and it was just nice growing up to be able to go there and see that and see like the way things used to go here. You know what I mean? Like the way life used to be and can be, and so now he actually just lives out there.
That'd be
And it's
awesome.
in like the middle of nowhere.
I think
It's
about
in
it all
middle
the
of
time.
woods.
Like
he just lives out there. Now.
we've gotten so far from like
Nature and
stuff.
our
Like
roots.
it's almost bad,
I think it
because-
is bad.
It's
just
almost
straight up
bad.
bad.
right? Because it's
I
just
mean, like, I'm glad we have technology and like got it.
I don't know.
but people
I think-
forget completely what our roots.
Well, realistically, people have, I guess, I think we talked about that kind of a little bit about that with Mike Cruz, about how people, whenever There's
You're
no
not sure.
walls around them. That like there's this certain like feeling that's within you, where it's
Yeah,
like
I
it
actually
feels
was
like almost
enjoying what he
limitless.
said, 'cause I feel that a lot. You know,
'Cause
it
there
gives
is
me
this-
anxiety having
whenever-
in small rooms, especially.
Whenever he said that, I was like, dude, like 98% of my life is spent like inside,
I hate that.
and it's not like it's not even
No
like
offense,
it's. No, I'm not.
It sucks.
I hate it too, but it's the fact that I work 8 hours a day at a job. I sleep 6 to 8 hours a day in a bed in my room. So that's right there. It's already a good 68% of my day spent inside, whether I like it or not. Now, even if the other 33% was me forcing myself to be outside, I can't do that shit every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not like enough shit to do outside every day. Like, eventually your fucking mom's gonna want you to come over or some shit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like there is
But we
only
actually-
this.
That didn't used to be the way it was. You know,
I
you
know
would
it
go
didn't.
months without talking to family members.
That's
back in the
correct.
day, you know?
That's correct. But even if you do go months, it's like you have friends, you have other family, you have maybe like
Sometimes.
concerts that you want to go to, and typically they're
Oh,
not
yeah,
outside.
Like today, yeah.
Well, even what I'm trying to say is that like yes, is what I'm talking about. Today is like today you have to like actively try to be outside because the majority of your time is going to be spent inside.
And I like the way on that. I like the way Graham Hancock puts it, where it's like
Thanks,
our
Hancock.
ancient like civilizations and stuff. Like everyone has their own zodiacs, right? And everybody looked at the sky for so many things and all this stuff. And back then, you could see the stars no matter where you were at. You could see so many stars, and you can see. Even in Texas, you go to a super remote area, there's still so much ambient light around the country that you're not seeing as many stars as we used to see. Say it
No,
was like
yeah.
18, whatever, even 1900.
Two things I hate:
But
highways and fucking parking lots.
Fucking
hate
in
lots.
parking lots.
on
Like,
hang on.
I
let me
wouldn't do
finish
that
this
either.
Stars thing. But
what?
it's a part of human nature. Like we've been connected with the stars, and it's been something we can see for thousands of years. And I think it's a big issue that when you walk outside, you can't see the stars. Like when we go outside, you can't see stars. That bothers me because it's like it is a huge part of humanity's culture as a race to be connected with stars.
Yeah.
We've
know,
lost
we-
so much of nature in general.
Like, and you know, like
We used to have buffalo everywhere.
you could see the stars so well that they didn't. A lot of cultures didn't look at the stars by looking up, like because you spent a lot of time looking up. You went to a lake or river or a water source and you looked down at the reflection, and that's how they looked at the stars. Like, and that's how they
That's
charted
crazy.
them and stuff like that. Because you know, like that is a lot looking at still water in the reflection. That's how a lot of them used to do it. And I think like it's pretty bothersome that we go outside, you can't even see them.
I don't know because
the middle of the
I'm
night.
with you. I'm with you with how bothersome that is, but also doesn't that go kind of back to choice? Like you have an understanding that if I get outside
You
the
can't
city,
go live in the middle of nowhere.
you can,
It's
but
illegal.
no,
the
that's not my
government's
point.
property.
That's not my point. My point is that you can every single day of your life drive 25 minutes outside the city and see the stars.
But that's what he was saying
but
before.
seeing them isn't what I'm saying. I'm saying living with them and every day. You know, like
He was
on-
also
That is
saying
that
like
could-
you could go somewhere and still there's so much ambient light that
yeah,
you're still
even
not
if you
seeing
go
the
to
full
middle
spectrum
nowhere
of
in
the
Texas,
sky.
An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours from here, because that's where we went. That's still what you're seeing is not what we used to see in that same spot before that. There's still
I'm-
ambient light around the state that still affects that.
I'm with
And
you, but
smog.
I also do think that that is a stretch to a degree because I think that you can still have that connection without it being that exact same thing that it used to be centuries ago.
I mean,
Kinda,
don't
What do you
think-
mean?
Like,
I would say yes,
you-
but like I
Have you
think
been
part
to
of the
fucking
point
like
is
Brazos Bend State Park?
yeah,
At
you
night?
I'm a big. No, I'm a
It's,
big. No, I'm a very big camera. Like,
say
I
you
love
just get
nature, I'm a
outside the
big
city,
nature-
it's you're there.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, the connection
it
is
used to
there.
be an everyday thing. Like it was a big part of humanity that like
Again,
you
that's
know,
choice because you can make it an everyday thing. You can't live at Brazos Bend State Park.
I mean, that goes
but-
back to if you. I mean, you work 2 jobs and you know you're fucking having
yeah.
to.
Like I see
mean,
the point you're
if
making,
y-
but like
yes and
not
no. I mean,
everybody's
it
just
depends
gonna
on
get
your
up and do that,
circumstance and
you
your
know?
situation. It's not as easily
it's not
available as it once
realistic, whereas
was.
back in the day.
Depending on who you
even your
are.
For
city
your
life-
average person that lives near the Houston area, it is well within their power to drive 20 minutes outside of the city to connect with the stars.
But
for
20 minutes outside the
25
city.
minutes
For
a
an
night.
20 minutes outside the city is still the suburbs.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
were in Texas City, literally Texas
But
City,
you're s-
the other night, and the stars were what? You were there?
They weren't like wow. They were like, okay, they were
Okay.
No, it's not. the
Now
same.
now you're tripping because even me, you, and Shelby were like, oh wow, the stars look nice tonight. This is crazy. It's
yeah,
nice
it's
to see them.
relative to like
Relative
where we
to
are
going to
now.
Breckenridge
Okay.
and going a little bit outside that little town, and you can see it literally. It's almost like the sun is shining because there's so many
I-
freaking stars.
I think that is outside of the point that you can still choose to go connect with those same stars that are still there.
it's a
that
lot more
you,
difficult, though.
Yeah, but that's not
It's
his
not.
point. That's
It
not
is.
his
That's
point.
not my point.
It
though.
is. You're still. You have to make. You are right. You have to make that choice. Whereas like a that long ago, you didn't have to make
you
a
didn't have
choice.
which
do
is
that.
great. But what I'm saying is,
But that was his
is still
point.
an available thing.
Yes,
that
it is
it's-
available, but
that-
it used to be normal.
Right. I'm with you, and I never said that it wasn't. I'm
But
saying
that was his
it's
point.
still available, and I never said that. I never argued his point. I was saying that it's still available to do that. What I said is doesn't that go back to choice? Is it not still a choice to be able to have that as an availability to your life? I
guess-
didn't argue that it's not it wasn't a thing.
I guess my thing is it's sad that it has to be a choice.
I'm with you on that, but is it not that? Is it not the availability to do that? Can you not still have that connection with those stars in
It's difficult,
today's
but yeah.
world?
I mean, you
That's
can still get
the
connected to
only thing
nature.
that I
There's
was
still
saying.
ways to get connected to nature, but
You guys were
relatively.
thinking I was arguing the idea of it ever being a thing. I didn't say that that's not. I didn't say that it's bad that society's gotten to this point. I do think that it's bad, but I also think that it's also possible for you to have that connection. It's not. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's bad to think that you can't have that connection because of the society that we're in, because that boxes you into never having that connection
Yeah,
again.
for sure. I mean, like, I guess my point is like it's not a thing anymore. Like, really, basically, for most people.
I think what it
Whereas,
is.
like, most
I think what
cultures
it
is
is
like
in
a thing.
today's culture is that it's harder to get, but that almost makes it more impactful to you once you receive it, if that makes sense.
Hey,
To
Yeah.
a degree, like for me, I would love for one of my trips in the near future to be to go see the Northern Lights, because I've always wanted to see them. I feel like a connection that I could make with nature that I've never been able to make before. That seems like a fucking dope ass fucking
yeah, we can go
connection to
the
make.
UP.
Bro, talk to the average
Not
person
too
though, and you
far.
talk to them about like, hey, dude, you want to go sleep in a tent and like be in nature? Most people are like, that sounds fucking awful.
Yeah,
what
they're
does that
like,
mean?
That's not my idea of a vacation.
But what does that mean?
Because in my opinion, that means we've been disconnected from that.
Yeah,
for so
it's
long.
like the fact that you're
that's
like,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
it is a
But
choice.
that goes back to choice.
Yeah, but
Yes,
that
but they don't.
you
even know
have
that
your
that is a
own
choice.
separate point, I think, than what our
Yeah.
point is
Yeah, I
here.
think
Like
so.
we had a point. and then
Thank you. That's you're right. I didn't argue your point. I made a separate one.
But every time we make our point, you keep going back to your point, which is a separate
because you're
point.
arguing my point by trying to go back to yours, which it is separate. But you're saying it's like, well, no, this and this. Like, well, that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. But you're
partially.
attributing it to the things that I'm saying.
partially.
How?
Because you were also saying that it's like not like that.
You just said that I'm saying something separate, but now it's partially not separate. You need to make up your mind.
Well, I think
No, I
because
get
like
what Daniel's saying though. I
you're
do get it.
relating it to what he's saying, but it's not at all really related to what he's saying.
How so?
Because you somehow like you took what he said and made a whole nother point, but the point wasn't very much based off of.
Yeah, the original. Yeah.
The original
Point.
point is that people used to have this connection to the stars. They didn't have to have effort to do it. They could literally walk outside. They could look at a lake. They could look down. They could study the stars. That
We were
is still-
integrated into nature. Nature
yeah.
was like we were
Correct.
one with
And
nature. Like
through
Native
time-
Americans used to like
through
do
time
the fucking
with light pollution and society creating
Technology.
the technology going the way that it has gone.
Society.
We have lost that connection. Right? That's the
Yeah.
point.
yeah.
So now I'm making the separate point that connection is not lost. It's just transferred into choice. That it's still available. You just have to choose to get it. That you have to make effort in your life to have those choices to be able to have that connection. Is a separate point. Thank you very much. So,
But then I
a
would argue
separate
that
point.
and say that in a sense, some of that is lost due to the fact that it has become a point where
Yeah,
it does become a choice. So some of that is lost in the translation.
You would have to
think.
like a lot of the time. You'd probably have to have that first experience, or have someone show it to you. So
Because there's a
you
lot of
even
kids
think
now that
of
aren't
the
accustomed to
choice.
that. It's not like a thing you're born into.
But
A lot of
that's
people
Like,
aren't
oh, the
born
stars
into
are
now.
important. Like you get born, a lot of people never leave the city. Like they never do. So it's like, I mean, it's a choice, but if you don't even know the choice exists, then what's the point of having the choice? Like,
I'm with you, but that's like kind of the same basis of a lot of different things. Like if you didn't know that there were other religions, then you would just believe in the one that you were taught whenever you were a kid. But the more that you grow up and the more that you learn about life and how there's these different options, different choices, then like you can make decisions for yourself, right?
Yeah, but we're
I
saying like,
mean-
but the point was being that like nowadays being like born into the society that we're born in, most
It's
people
harder to make that choice. I
and
get
most
that.
people don't even like.
The opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. The opportunity, like, what are
Yeah.
your circumstances,
don't have
and
a
it's just
family
like we're
that's into
built,
camping
we're
or-
more built around technology and being indoors and buildings,
The smog.
skyscrapers, and fucking these,
Ambient light and smog.
yeah, and just things like blocking out
Gas.
this. Like our society is built more to like kind of enclose that away from us.
But
yeah,
isn't
I
that-
would agree.
To
yeah,
block, our
yeah, it's
society's
like
built to
a-
block off nature,
a
not to
bubble.
like incorporate our lifestyle
like a
into
bubble.
nature.
And
Like a
while
bubble.
I'm with you, I think the idea that because like this is how you drawing it back into what I was saying is like you're saying that is kind of fuck, I lost my train of thought. What I was trying to say is that there's plenty of situations where a person is born into a family that is going a certain direction and they choose that that's not the direction for him. Where you talk about like racism, like a person's born into a racist family, they're like, no, I'm not a racist. I don't like that you guys think this way. I'm not going to attribute my life towards this. People can be born into a certain thought process or environment, situationship, whatever, and there are plenty of examples of people growing out of that and going a different direction. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not as indicative as it's more of a generalization to say that because it's harder to get or at least it's not as comfortable as it used to be just like walking outside, that it therefore means that it's not, I guess that it I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's definitely more available than you're trying to make it
No, it's
seem.
I
I
guess
mean-
what I'm trying to say is that it should be a daily thing that you just witness every single
It would be a lot cooler if our society was more built in with nature, like we were like intertwined, whereas our society is built to stray away from nature.
Yeah,
But
like
isn't
we
that-
used to be way, way, way back.
But isn't that based off of like? I guess I'm not even really trying to defend it, but I'm really just asking questions now. Isn't that based off of the idea that we used to fucking fear nature? That nature used to be bears and
I don't
lions
know
and
if
things that
we-
like
well, part of
so at a
fear is
certain degree-
respect. I think we respected nature.
Yeah,
okay,
a lot
and
of cultures
that part,
did.
and that part. But what if you're saying that like we are maybe protecting ourselves from nature it to a degree? Then maybe that's the word to use.
I think it was more so we got to a point where we thought we were above nature.
what I think it is
has
that
now for sure.
I think what it is
Yeah.
that we went protection mode and that got manipulated by society.
What's weird is I think on that I think some of that has to do with monotheism, because when you look at polytheism, a lot of the multi-gods are connected with
Nature.
certain things in nature.
Like the sun god,
or
the-
even or
the rain god.
the rain god, the ocean, the sky, the wind itself, the earth, the trees, but also animals, having idolizing certain animals because of certain qualities that they have and respecting them for those qualities and revering some animals for certain things like snakes or goats.
It's a
or
lot of
lions
Native
or,
American
or whatever.
cultures.
But and European cultures. I mean, the ancient.
Oh, I'm not
Irish-
saying that. Well, I was just talking
all
about like
ancient cultures definitely were much more integrated with.
as far as the
nature.
animals, I was thinking like the first thing I thought was like totem poles
yeah,
and things like
totems and stuff like that, and spirit animals and everything like that.
But
But
going back to it, yeah.
like it's more of, I really don't like. It's not so much a fear. It's like understanding the world through nature's eyes. Like a lot of outdoorsmen would say, like, you can solve a lot of problems in life by observing nature and the way nature deals with things. You could probably deal with that city problem, or a relationship problem with somebody in a similar way. You know what I mean?
But isn't
Like,
there
by
something-
observing, and that's what a lot of Native American cultures and stuff were really good at that. Like, it's like, okay, what was it? I was watching watching a documentary, and it was some quote from some Native American chief, and I'm sorry, I can't remember it. But he was saying, like, he was talking about the advancement of Western civilization. He's like, sure, honestly, maybe these people are evil. He was advocating against violence, is what he was doing. And he was like, sure, maybe these people are evil and this is terrible. And he was like, but we can't cause violence out of our pride or out of this. And he was like, we must remain calm. He's like, the river does not worry that it will run out of water. Like nature doesn't worry about these things. He was like, we have to live on. We have to,
Right.
persevere. You know what I mean? And not
Right.
always through violence. Sometimes through calmness and like whatever. And You know, so like you could literally look at nature and kind of solve problems that way. Just by like, okay, and a lot of like, the Japanese culture did that a lot. You know, if you look like the samurai culture and stuff like that, or Taoism and stuff, it's like don't be the rock in the river, be the river flowing around the rock. You know what I mean? Like go with the flow.
And while I agree with you that it does suck that it's not as easy to gain that connection with nature as it used to be, is there not something to the idea of like forbidden knowledge is reserved for that of who seeks it?
Milk for children, meat for grown men.
Right. So like, I mean, to a degree, I'm not saying that it's good that connection is harder to get, but isn't it better to a degree? I mean, because like almost you have a lack of appreciation of that connection if it's your baseline.
That was very esoteric of you.
I don't know what that means.
Secret knowledge. It literally means secret knowledge.
Secret knowledge.
But that would be you said as above so below earlier, so you're impressing me today.
Hey, dude, I'm like
he's learning.
Yeah, but
Dude's
I'm esoteric,
but
dude.
it's no, it is
Yeah,
a thing
dude.
of like don't tell people this stuff unless they outwardly see
I'm
it.
a
Because
esoterodactyl,
if you try
dude.
to force it down people's throats, they're gonna hate you for it. You kind of just gotta, dribble it around here and there and wait for somebody to be like, I like that.
It's
Tell
like
me more about that.
It's like whenever someone's asking you the answer, it's like I'll let it come to you type of thing.
Yeah, very Buddhist Zen master, like, I want to learn Enlightenism. I want to be enlightened like you. And it's like, okay, you are. What do you want? And then, like, a big, I know you guys know who Alan Watts is, but, his big thing is he talks a lot about, the Zen Buddhist thing of, like, they basically just lead him in these circles as, like, a practical joke. And it's
Right.
just like, you're already enlightened. Like, chill out. The whole idea is just stop.
Dude, I remember
Just
like
be.
basically, you know how long it's funny because I didn't like when I was first learning, which was probably like 14. I did not get it. I was like, what? What do they
That's
mean?
the thing, exactly.
I was so confused.
Exactly.
I was like, what do they like? Because I would read shit like that. I'm like, I don't fucking.
But it wasn't
You
meant
are
for
enlightened,
your ears yet,
right?
You
And
get
I was just-
older and you're like,
and I did run around in
Oh.
circles because being
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm like, dude, I have to
I'm
learn this
trying.
thing. I have to be better. I have to fucking
But
to reach
that's-
enlightenment. But then you're like, oh,
But not
Oh,
to
they're saying
completely.
don't care. I need to try harder to not care. And it's like, no.
But not to
that's
completely
not-
full circle it. That's kind of where I was going with that sidetrack. Is that idea that you, as hard as it is to still connect with those things because of the society we live in, that you still have the availability to be the man that gets the meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was just saying. I
And
just think it's sad,
And I do
you know?
mean Meek Mill when I say that.
Oh, God.
I just think I guess my thing is I was saying it's sad that something that we as like a race are so connected to is not something that you can just walk out your door and see. No
Yeah.
matter because
Relatively.
really you shouldn't have to leave the central hub to see that.
But also,
because
there's something to the
biggest
idea that
cities
like
back in the day, even if they were lantern lit, like gas lit lantern, like you still could see all that. You're still connected to
I'm with you, but there's also something to the idea that like that concept, this you going outside idea, isn't you going outside an apartment building or a fucking condo. This is a fucking acre of land that you and your 3 family members live on. You know what I mean? So like things are more spread out. People are more spread out. So as we became more densely
Yeah,
populated, it became like much more difficult for that concept to be available.
yeah,
you
and I
know?
think that's sad.
And
It
pollution.
is sad.
Pollution also.
But
yeah,
that's-
pollution also. Yeah.
But
got
that's a
fucked.
capitalism conversation, right?
Yeah.
As population rises, we have to find a way.
Steampunk is
That's like the,
upon us.
Yeah, we
That's
should
like the
probably
same-
just start culling the population. Honestly,
I'm with you, but that's
no, I mean, that was sarcasm. That
no, it wasn't.
That was
Uh,
sarcasm.
China virus.
fuck.
No, but I mean, because the conversation of like, it's sad that is what that is kind of the conversation of it's sad that factory farming is a thing. It's sad that we have to feed our population this much in this society. We could be not treating animals this horribly,
Yeah.
type of thing. And we could probably do it better. But we don't because we got to save our dollars for
Well,
Ukraine.
Yeah, it's not just
Uh-uh.
dollars. Though. Dollars are
Oh
just
my
a
God.
symbol of resources. Really, we got to save our resources.
Dollars are a symbol of nothing because it's
Well,
a made-up
yes,
fucking
yes,
paper.
but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though.
I do. I'm fucking around.
Idealistically, they would symbolize resources.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay.
In a perfect world.
Switch it to whatever you want, though. Gold, whatever, yada yada. I mean, well, no,
Yeah.
gold has its values. scientifically.
Joe's fat stacks.
I mean, realistically, we want to believe that gold has that much value until shit collapses.
Well,
Like, hey, I got this gold, and everyone's like, I don't give a fuck,
Well,
dude.
gold is just useful for a lot of things, like scientifically, like it's used for like every cell phone has gold in it. Like
You don't
everything you
know.
have has.
Yeah,
like,
no,
all the tech,
That's
all
just
the
what they
tech
tell
have.
you.
Yeah.
All the fucking tech, man.
Show me the specs.
How
The
do you
tech.
know? How do you know how science works?
All the
Dude,
show me-
I've
show
had
me
that
the proof.
conversation. I've had
Show me
that
the proof.
conversation where it's like, I think I've had it with you, where it's like there is like a certain level of trust that we all have of that, like we're all being told what's actually happening in the science
on.
experiments
Okay,
and
have you-
fucking history books.
Have you guys seen the NASA photoshops?
Yes, dude. They're funny as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the only reason
Let me
I
see if I
give
can find 'em.
people. I believe. Look, I'm not a flat earther. I believe in space and all that good shit. It'd be
I believe in
it would be really
space.
depressing if the Earth was flat. I'll say that.
I don't
But
know.
Have you?
What
But NASA has photoshopped so many pictures, and it's like undeniable because there's like a mountain range on Mars that they did, and
I
they
saw that
just
one.
copy pasted.
Yep, I saw it. It's pretty depressing.
It is.
But the
very
thing is, like,
depressing,
how
'cause
much
it's like,
more-
Dude,
You're
I'm
talking
on
about,
your side, and
uh,
you're making it really hard.
But how much more would it be depressing that it was a flat Earth as compared to a round Earth?
What do you?
Because like, why would it be any more depressing? Like
If
when
it's
people
a
are,
flat Earth, there's no aliens,
That one?
and that
Why?
would make me sad.
Talking about that
Why?
one?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's just them making Mars red.
yeah, that's
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
they
yeah,
wanted
you're
people to think Mars was red. I mean, that's probably somewhere in.
well,
dang, like
there's the whole
Colorado.
like, cause there's a flat Earth where it's just like the rock below it. It's this, and then like a dome.
the biblical flat Earth. Yeah.
But then you could still there's space around it,
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not
Arguably.
really.
right? I don't know. I'm like,
not
I don't
about
know.
It's like
I don't know
the-
if there's
the
different flat Earth
flat Earths of you
theories.
guys. I'm not
That's
about
like
to do that.
the beyond the firmament, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's some godly
Yeah, but that's-
biblical thing,
Yeah,
right?
but that's the whole thing. They're
It's
the
like
only
flat
people
Earth-
that are flat Earth.
Well, that's a whole different flat Earth theory.
Flat Earth
I'm
map,
not about to
dude.
argue about
You're
which
thinking of,
flat
like,
Earth
the-
is real because I'm not giving it credit.
All I'm saying is like I do also believe it's a dome, but I think either way,
You believe it's a no? Wait. what do you
no,
mean?
like it's a
Oh,
sphere.
Okay.
It's a
yeah.
sphere.
No,
not a dome.
no. You
I
can't
believe
walk that back. You
Shut up.
said
He
what
knows
you
what
said.
I meant. I meant sphere.
You
I meant
didn't
a
mean what
sphere.
you meant. You said what you meant.
meant
and-
Chair is
sphere.
missing a wheel.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
But
not.
Personally, I think either way though. It's like that. Y'all
So
ever
what
seen?
you're talking about is like this kind of where it's like there's
Let's show
space
this on
around
the-
it. Yeah, I'm
Have you
about to pull
seen
it
A
up.
Trip to Infinity?
So like that where there's like still space surrounding it?
Like, what would be that? Like, how would it be that much less cool than the sphere?
If you're listening to this on Spotify, you need to.
I
Yeah,
just
on
want to
YouTube.
say, dude, I just want to say, it's like everyone's like, nah, it's a sphere. It's like, who fucking cares, bro? Because look,
Does it matter is my question. Does it
No.
affect literally anything?
Fuck no.
Does it affect our ability to either
Yes.
get off a world
Dude,
or
what do you mean?
fucking
That means when I fly somewhere, I'm not actually traveling around the world, which changes my life.
You are though. It's just not around this way, it's around this way.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, when you fly somewhere, they just fly you in circles.
Okay, look, realistically, if you pull that
We all
back
know
up,
that.
it's still a sphere in a way if you look at it in a certain scale because it has a thickness like this, right?
Well,
Nah,
And it's
that would
like
be-
this.
that would
I
not
don't think you
be-
know what a
That's more
sphere
of a
is.
okay.
sir.
That's a cylinder. My bad.
Come
It's a
on.
cylinder. It's more of a
Square's a
cylinder-esque.
rectangle. Rectangle's not a square. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
more of a cylinder-esque, but then it could trick our brain.
This is what flat earthers have to go through
It's
to
a
convince
thing.
themselves they're right.
Dude, all I'm
Oh,
saying,
dude, this is a better one. Hold
No,
on.
if
I
you-
don't
if
care.
You have to jump through. Look, this is my thing with logic. Oh, that's it.
It does look kind of sick though.
that's my favorite, dude.
That's
Because like,
it.
it's just imagine rock coming down from it. Like it could be easily.
Well, okay, so
That could
but
be easily be real. I don't fucking know.
the Christian
this
people
is-
that believe that there is water above the firmament, and that is how the Great Flood happened. Because when we
You
pissed,
just got dropped
when
on.
we piss Yahweh off, he just opens the floodgates. And
He
it all,
pissed
and it,
on us.
Yeah, he literally just. Yeah, no joke.
See, like I like that one. Yeah,
This
that
one?
one's fucking
That is
sick.
just insane.
That's awesome.
That
You told me that wouldn't be
Thank
kind
you,
of sick.
iStock asshole.
that would be sick, but also depressing as fuck.
Why is that much more depressing than what we're already
Okay,
living?
look,
Yeah.
just because they put space in the background doesn't mean that they don't believe space is the thing.
That part.
They
That's
don't
where
believe in
that is
extraterrestrials. They don't believe in life outside of humans.
that is where the line
all
gets drawn into like, does it matter or does it not matter? Because when you're talking about physical shape,
Is it sad as fuck or is it not sad?
Yeah,
as
I'm
fuck?
just talking about physical shape.
When you're talking
not
about
the whole
No,
religious
specifically
I'm talking
physical.
about the
physical
big
shape.
thing of it.
when you're talking about specifically physical shape, what does it change? Other
Not
than
really
the idea
anything.
that the,
No, I
the
get that.
Earth
Not really
rotates
anything.
on an axis, that probably doesn't happen. That's fine. I'm with you there.
Yeah, that doesn't change anything. I'm talking about it would just be really depressing because most of them.
Gravity makes more sense at that point
How?
because it's just down. It's not like that it's pulling in through the center and all of these at all
Mass.
points. I'm with it, but it's just down. Gravity doesn't go left, right, or fucking up, bitch. It just goes down.
That is true. That would kind of make more sense because
How
it would just.
toward- no. Gravity goes
See,
towards the center of mass.
If you don't have proof that the Earth is
I'm
round,
not having this conversation.
your perspective
Not
is
doing
that
it.
your feet are on the ground and that if you try to jump, you get pulled down.
I know we kind of went sideways on this a little bit. I want to jump kind of deeper in this for just a second before we come back around. But I think it's funny just because people online are like, your brains are getting right and y'all need to go back to school and read a little bit because like that's why you fuckers think the world's
I
flat.
probably do need to go back to school and read a little bit.
No offense, though, because Joe was talking a lot about the flat Earth and like also like how a lot of these mountains and shit are just like fossilized like
trees.
no the trees. Well, yeah, fossilized trees are fossilized animals.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well,
what
like a lot of these
Mountain
rocks
ranges.
and
Hold up, I got you. I'll pull it up because you weren't
mountains
here. Hold
are
up,
rocks and shit. Yeah, you weren't here for that. This would have been great. You would have loved it.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Joe.
It was
Mountain
interesting
That wait, was he saying he firmly
tree.
believed that?
He's-
Why not?
I-
He might as well. No, I'm kidding.
Look, this is where
This
I'm
is
at.
the one that this is the one we pulled up. Hold
Love
up.
you, Joe.
I don't.
Not
I don't.
understanding.
That's
Oh,
a tree
those.
stone.
No. Those are totally explained.
That's clearly a tree stone.
Just a fucking colossal tree.
That's a
Why
colossal
not?
lumberjack's work.
Why not everything? Dude, hey, science proved that there was giant
That was
mushrooms.
obnoxious
Why?
laughing
If
at
there
the
was
mic.
giant, if there was giant mushrooms, why would there not be giant trees? Like, cause they said there was giant mushrooms. Scientists.
Why would there not be giant people?
There were.
They say that there were?
You're looking at them, dude.
I mean, if there were are dinosaurs
Waist
real?
below.
Are dinosaurs real?
Why not?
Yes.
Okay, so how big were
But
dinosaurs?
they were birds, though, right?
Well, we have.
Some of them.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Yeah, now
Hold on,
it's
hold on,
all
hold
of
on.
a sudden.
Well, no. I'm not sure what your point is there because not all of them were big. So I don't know.
Wait, so weren't some of them?
Some
So why
of them
couldn't there
were
be
big.
bigger? What about some of the ones like the big fucking long neck fuckers?
Some whales are big.
Yeah,
Not all whales are big. Most of them aren't.
yeah, but what
But
about
like about the big ones, though.
the long necks? What are
The
they?
big ones, though.
What
That's
about
where we're at.
What about the Meg?
What about the
What about
Meggies?
the Meg?
What
Yeah.
about what about Locky?
Yes, things used to be bigger. Yeah, for sure.
So why couldn't a large tree be a thing?
It could be, but that
It couldn't
has
get
nothing
fossilized?
around it that would fossilize.
Philosophi-
That would
Philosophize.
that had nothing around it that would fossilize it.
What do you
It
mean?
has to be pressed. There's nothing around it to fossilize it.
Like to where it's just fucking like rock becomes rock?
Yeah, there's nothing around it to do that.
Yeah, like volcanic shit and stuff like that. We don't know.
It requires immense pressure. And yeah, a lot of ash.
Yeah.
That didn't have that.
It went
It's
away
way too-
after a while.
What could
Uh,
fossilize huge stuff?
Where I'm at,
What is huge? What's your debt?
Look.
No, what could fossilize a mountain-sized tree? That's what you need to
Mountain-sized
look
tree
up.
stuff.
this is where I'm at. We all want to believe shit. So don't get me wrong. You should read and you should actually believe
you should
science to a
question
degree.
a lot
You
of
should
things.
question things. You should also
Bill
do
Nye the
research,
Science
actual
Guy.
research,
Pow,
and learn and fucking grow your mind, knowledge.
Well, just don't take people's word for everything.
But also, how much cooler would it be to imagine that there were giant elephants and giant trees that got fossilized? Honestly,
there was giant elephants,
yeah.
just not giant trees like that. There was
You
giant
don't
trees too. Not that one. That wasn't what that
Oh,
was.
you were there?
And honestly, it's just like when
I
people
would
are like,
like
nah.
it to be known that I defended science on this day because most days I do not.
Just like, oh, you know, there's no flat Earth. It's like, oh, you won. What? You won another day to be on this planet. Congratulations. This shit sucks either way.
That tree, I think also, I might be wrong, but that thing would have been ground into dust by tectonic plates by this point.
I don't think so. You know why?
Pangea,
Also,
bitch.
why is there not another one? It's a tree. They pollinate or they, seeds, all that good jazz.
There
why
are
is
other
it-
ones. There are other
That
ones.
looks.
There
You
are other
want to
ones.
see the
Okay,
other
but
ones, dude?
It better look almost the exact same because
Somewhat similar.
Mount-
genetics is genetics and trees do not vary very much.
Mountain sauce tree, bro. Mountain sauce.
I mean, there's different
tree.
types of trees.
Well, okay, all right. Just saying, forests are huge.
So
There'd be a
this,
lot of those. That's all I'm
so
saying.
this is a different
That's a lot of
one.
pressure, and which makes big things difficult.
How come only
to-
one of them got fossilized?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
actually,
a
only,
different
like 1%
one.
Of stuff.
Like, there's another one.
man.
Look, that's a tree.
That one's not a tree.
That's not.
He said,
Oh,
no,
no,
that
wait.
one's not a tree. But this one's a tree.
Well, like, look at all these trees. Look at this one, dude.
No,
that one?
No, those are not trees.
Come
That's
on,
not a
bro.
tree, bro?
That's
Those-
not.
Look
no.
at the ringies.
That's
Look,
not
bro.
what that is. Are you
The
You
kidding
know
me?
exactly
Are
what
you
that
kidding
is.
me? That is no.
That's
That's
a
how
tree.
many years this tree has
The
been
worst part
alive.
is I can't even tell if y'all are fucking with me or not.
That's a tree trunk.
I mean, we
It's not
might
a
as well
tree
not
trunk.
be.
It's not a tree. trunk.
I mean, what does it change if we're not, if we are or not? You know, like that's reality, kids.
I just want it to be known that today was the day that Cole was not a conspiracy theorist.
I
That's all
want
I'm
it to
asking
be
people
known
understand.
today that
Look,
it,
look at the one that says tree.
I love that. Look, I just want it to be known. See, look,
that's
that's a
all
tree.
it took. That's all it
Come on, dude. So it's not a tree?
You know what, guys? Hey, it is a tree.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, and the Earth's round. I just wanted to get into that because I
Oh my
think for
God.
all those who do or don't believe, sometimes it's cooler to believe in the insane because none of us really know. We only
Hold
know
up.
a certain amount.
As somebody
While
that's
we're
just
here-
into the conspiracy stuff, though, I'm just
Go watch a trip to infinity.
mind-boggled
Watch
that
a trip to infinity.
I didn't see the tree thing. You know?
Dude,
I mean-
space is fake.
Fucking shit. Bro, don't make me sad like
Nah.
that. I'm not kidding. Flat Earth people make me sad.
Why?
Because I like space. I think it's inspiring.
It is inspiring, but would it change at all if it was fake?
Yes.
Why?
Does that mean
Because it still has the
that means
effect that it
people
has
never, that
on
means
you.
I could never look. You never wanted to be an astronaut as a kid.
Hey, look, no.
I did. I did.
Yeah,
I
that would
did, yeah.
suck. That would shit would suck. Imagine you're a kid. You're like, I want to be an astronaut, and then fucking whoever comes up to you like, well, you know, space is fake, right? You should probably give
Jose-
that dream up.
Jose Altuve.
Give that up. Give it up.
He said
Give it up.
whoever.
You have
says
a
it.
better chance. You have
I
a
was like,
better
did
chance
Jose
becoming an
Altuve
NFL
kill your
linebacker.
dreams?
My dad's 5'4". Like, yeah, you still have a better chance. Like, no, you're not.
I'm
I mean, you
not.
couldn't be an astronaut either if you were 5'4". So
That's tough.
Honestly, it's crazy
you know they
because
only make
like
spacesuits
how
in one size. They're like one size.
this is one of those
It's all-
things. This like space is fake is one of the things kind of like time travel where like if they did actually have if you actually had an answer, we wouldn't be the people that actually got to have the answer. Like if time travel was a thing, if it was
Yeah,
invented,
we wouldn't.
we
get to
wouldn't be the
time
get to the people
traveling.
that were time traveling. Somebody would just be fucking with our goddamn universe and be like, "Oh, this doesn't make any sense." Well, I guess here we are. But
It's like the first guy to invent time travels, the last guy.
And-
to
I don't know.
And
I don't
this-
think a meteor is gonna fall out of time travel and land on my house.
but how will you
solid
know it's a
chance it might
meteor
come out of
though?
Space and land on my
How do
house.
how will you know it's a meteor?
What else would it be?
They can create rocks in a lab and then they shoot it out of a fucking cannon.
Just can't have a lab outside of the firmament.
You don't know?
If you just add that argument to everything, then you never get anywhere.
Said
No, isn't it crazy? We have a space station that's just like right. We're like, yeah, no, we can't go any further. That's it.
What do you mean?
Like space station, we're like it's a station in space, but it's like they're like, yeah, we can't go any further though. This is.
But
where
again, going back to the conversation
Why
that
couldn't
we didn't really have,
Exactly.
which is the theory that like most of us just base all of our scientific thought processes off of information that none of us have actually proved. Like the idea of a space station. Sure, I'm sure you can look it up right now and get some video of the space station, and I'm sure if you talk to all the people at NASA, it's a thing. But we don't fucking know. We're not
No.
on the space
Get
station.
back to these NASA photoshops, bro. Let's get back on these.
Oh,
NASA
dude,
photoshops.
I'm on it.
yeah, look up the space station while we're at it.
Okay, wait. Why?
Space station is
Where are
fake.
you getting the space station thing from?
What do you mean? There's a space station.
Yes.
That's a thing.
What do you mean? Where am I getting it
What-
from?
it-
It's common
but-
knowledge.
Okay, but it can't go.
There's a space
you're saying
station.
it can't go further than that. What do you like? Yeah, it can't go further than that because it has to stay at the edge of our gravity field. Days where
Exactly.
circulation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
If it got
And
outside
flat
that, it
Earth's
would
not
just
real,
float,
is
would
it?
just float.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go into space. We have to stay within the parameters
Of the
in which
gravitational pull.
the firmament.
So,
You're ridiculous.
I don't know what your point.
My point is that like fucking we don't know shit about space, and as much as we're like, dude, Elon Musk is like, no,
Better
I'm
be-
building the rockets
I'm,
that's
I'm
going
not
to
kidding.
space.
I want to see these.
I don't know what you want me to look up actually. Which ones?
There's the mountain range one is the one that's like insanely obvious. That's the one
On
that really
Mars?
bugs me. Yeah, definitely.
God damn it.
Hey,
Hey,
you
player.
can unleash the floodgates on us if you talk like that.
Not again.
Not again.
Let's see.
You know, there's
International.
also there's like a conspiracy within Christianity that the Old Testament God is actually the devil.
What's his name?
Did you please look at the pictures of the space station?
I'm trying to find this first.
No, I'm just saying these pictures look so
I
fucking
can't find.
fake.
I can find
Okay.
like pictures, but I can't find the ones next to like the reality. It's just like pictures of a mountain ranges.
Well, what you got? Throw it up on here.
The space station
see what you
pictures
got
are
right here.
awesome.
So there's this one.
Yeah, that doesn't.
what you're discussing?
Mars
No.
looks way different than they told us.
That
it
shit
looked
looks like a Photoshop picture though.
It does look like.
No. We were watching a thing on it. I'd have to.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
this
find it for the next podcast.
This is what.
Okay, look how red it looks in that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
shit's dumb
with
as hell.
you, mountains don't look like.
No, it's like it's a satellite
Like-
image. It's not like a down. It's not. Yeah.
They just
It's
went
a
to
so
Utah.
it shows you that they copy
Oh,
pasted.
I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it shows you that they copy pasted one of the cliffs in the satellite image, and they copy pasted it a bunch of times.
I don't know if it's this
No,
one.
that's
There's
the
this one.
that's the face on Mars. That's different.
But they also clearly photoshopped that one, right?
I'll have to
'Cause
go
this
find
what
it, and I'll bring it
looks
back
like.
in the next episode.
You also missed the last time when we talked about the pyramids in Antarctica.
Oh, did y'all really? I would have loved to
Dude,
be here
yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Talk
I
about that
can,
for
no,
about
look
that.
up the
Cool
space
y'all up
station.
on
Just look at those pictures for a
pyramids.
second.
Space station.
Yeah, just International Space Station. Just go to images.
What are you saying is the thing?
Just the picture.
Photoshopped or-
Just all the pictures are just like look like AI formulated a fucking.
What about these?
implying AI is older than we thought.
No,
Well, some
I'm
of
just
them are
saying.
probably like simulation pictures.
It's crazy because whenever
If you just Google space station, it's gonna give you everything from the space station.
Yeah.
well, I googled space station.
So I mean,
and
some
it's
of
not
these,
giving
yeah,
me
come on.
everything.
yeah, but some of these are from simulations or cheesy, video game shit or whatever. I mean, like most of those aren't. No, look
I
at
don't know.
those. Those are, nah, some of those are. I mean, come on, this shit's amazing.
I'm
Don't
not saying
crush
it's
my
not.
heart and tell me this shit isn't real. I would.
I'm
I'd
not
be
saying
so
it's not,
sad.
but I've seen much better like VFX.
No, NASA really does Photoshop a lot of
So
shit.
we can't leave Earth's gravitational pull.
No, you can't have a space station past. There's a little fine line. Otherwise, the space
The
station.
firmament.
Otherwise,
So where I'm at is we've been to the moon. Why have we not gone further?
Because we didn't go to the moon, Daniel. Space is fake.
shut up, dude. Don't be telling people that. They're gonna think you're serious.
No. We did go to the moon, but whenever we got there, we found out that it's just like fucking the Truman Show, and it was really just like a live studio audience.
Whoa, whoa, that would be wild.
That'd be awesome. They got to the moon and they see the little door. They open it and everyone's like,
Like
"Woo!"
these weird aliens.
And they come back. They're like, "Don't tell anyone about this."
Yeah.
Like, come
There'd
back
probably
to
be some weird aliens that just don't have emotions, so they just watch people with emotions all day, just get angry and just pissed off every time a red light happens at the wrong time. They're like, "Oh, these humans are wild.
I don't know, dude. Now that they have like
God.
these
Guys raging."
they have like these admissions of there being interdimensional beings and shit like that. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck's
If
going
there was
on anymore.
if there is aliens here, right? If you believe that, do you think they would be interdimensional or interplanetary?
Uh,
I mean, it
a
depends.
lot of things are starting to say they're interdimensional.
I would go with interdimensional.
That's what most things are leaning
I would
towards.
go with interdimensional. There was even
A lot of the
like
conspiracy theorists are saying like they're more equivalent to like demons.
yeah, that's just the religious
But-
people projecting that onto it.
Yeah.
Correct. Because the idea of a demon is just something that you can't see that
Interdimensional.
has an agenda outside of the things that you think are right.
I think
or
that's-
correct.
Interdimensional
Yeah, I think
being, yeah.
that's religious people projecting their theology onto that
Or
situation.
just not having like I guess a correct vocabulary of the thing you're trying to convey. You know, it's
Well,
like
they
so the
just-
closest thing that you can think of is like a demon. You know,
Well, it's like it's their brain trying to cope with what they saw about it. You know,
right?
if they saw someone talk about it and they were like, their brain is like, oh, that's logical, but that doesn't match my belief system. Then your brain has to convolute a way to have them be okay with each other, and which
Right.
is what that would be. That's
Kinda-
that's projection. That's like I
I-
have to make this work because I'm so anchored into my belief system that I'm not willing to walk away from it. So I have to find a way to make the two.
And
cope.
it's kind of like the idea of somebody that's looking for Bigfoot and they go out into the wilderness for 10 years. They've been looking for him all along. They finally see a fucking bear walking on 2 feet and they say, "It's Bigfoot, I found him."
Exactly.
You know what I
it
mean?
has to make sense because they're not willing to, because they probably put so much
Yeah.
of their time, energy, life, maybe even ruined a marriage over it or something like that, or ruined a
Oh, shit,
relationship
do you know
with
somebody?
their child or their brother or something like that because they were not willing to give up their belief system.
Sounds kind
And
of
then
personal.
they see plain evidence, and then it's like, nope, still can't give it up. You know what I mean? So they'll find a way. No, it's just, I mean, it happens all the time.
Was it like an airplane evidence or like
You mean?
maybe like a cargo plane evidence? Sorry. Bad joke. Sorry, I'm just being stupid.
Was it?
What was
Was it?
You said plain evidence, and I was
Oh
just
my
doing word
God, that was a dad
association.
joke. Yeah, that was a
I was just
dad
doing
joke.
word association. But yeah, I'm tired of
Josh is a
shit.
kid somewhere that we don't know about,
Nice.
and he's just become a dad without knowing it.
No, I get the jokes.
Hey man, his name's Steven. You know him.
Shit, we could honestly probably wrap it up. I do want to say though, once again, going back to kind of like the first half of what we were talking about before we got into the funny conspiracy shit, just 'cause that was fun for a minute. But guys, focus on the things that you can handle now. Make positive impacts in your life the best way that you can. Build the communities that you feel like are and nurture those things that you feel like are going to make those impacts. And look at the people around you. Build those connections. Like I said, nurture those communities. The internet can only go so far. You know what I mean? The internet can help you in a lot of ways, but you also have to do the groundwork around you in your daily lives. It's more than just saying some bullshit or shouting it into the void. Which, don't get me wrong, there's a point where it's like, damn, all I feel like I can do is that.
I would say, yeah, and like, don't always be aware that there's people out there trying to take advantage of you. So just don't take people's word verbatim.
Also, Propeller.com.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
I recently have used that website, but mostly 'cause I wanted to win VIP tickets. But
Tell her.
Propeller, like a
I
propeller.
hardly know her.
Oh, fucking hate you.
I knew you were going there.
God damn. But it is it does have a lot of like things where you can sign petitions. A lot of videos about a lot of different organizations. So it's honestly a good medium to find organizations if you don't know where to start. Maybe like follow those organizations. Maybe get an idea of where you want to go from here. Maybe start your own little organization and community around you. But I think that's a good place to start. Like I got into it just because I wanted to win some VIP tickets. God, this sounds like a spiel. Like I'm reading off.
This
of
is
like
an
a-
ad.
Did you win? What did you win tickets to?
I haven't won any tickets. I put a bunch of entries in. The drawing's tomorrow, so fingers crossed that I do win. But
this
I hope
this is a paid advertisement.
we'll see. Hey, I hope I win.
This is not a
We
paid
are
advertisement.
an
I am
unpaid
kidding.
Channel.
Yeah, no, but honestly, I just wanted to say that 'cause I think it is a good place to find those types of things. Like, it has a lot of really cool videos on there, a lot of really cool organizations to get involved with. Like, there's a whole bunch of different shit. Even like a whole like the psychedelic movement. They have like stuff about that on there, like how to grow your own mushrooms, like learning to use Narcan and like how to help people, if they're overdosing and shit like that. There's a lot of really cool resources on that website. I just want to get that out there. I thought it was really.
No, yeah.
But yeah, the world is a crazy place. It feels at times that there's not much you can do. But I think just start small, cultivate these things in the communities around you, and just show that love for yourself and for those you hold closest to
Always
you.
reach out with passion, but lovable passion, not with hate and anger and
Yeah.
argument.
Yeah, I would agree. Passion and love is a big thing.
And I would
think.
tell you to shoot
Live-
for the stars, but since space is fake, I wouldn't dare lie to
You
you.
can't see him either, so.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Whoever's watching this. is
Yeah, if
gonna
you can
have-
fucking find him, dude.
Whoever watching this episode is like, these guys are fucking idiots. But you know us, you love us. We're your favorite Houston podcast. Coming at you
So
live.
if you know us, you love us. If you don't know us,
This is
you
live?
should maybe get to know us.
Nah, dude. Live, live at 5 was
It went
It-
across our board.
it was on the. It wasn't gonna be one that we chose, but live.
Dude, I
at-
wish I could find that page in I think one of your old notebooks that just had the different names for the podcast that we wrote down on it, the potential names that we could name it. I don't even know how we landed on unconventional development.
that was my original. That was like before everything. That was when I
'cause
first.
I
named
remember
it.
going like whenever you were trying to figure out how like what to name it. I wasn't on the project with you, but you were going over some things with me, and I was like, I don't know, like that doesn't work. I don't know if that doesn't really like jive
I was just
well.
like, fuck it, yeah.
But unconventional development for some reason hit both of us like, no, yeah, like it's 'cause like you're developing, like like you're getting information and you're taking it in and you're being able
It's
to
not very
but it's not very conventional.
That
It's
sounds like
uncon-
a bad thing.
Unconventional
Thank you.
development.
Yeah. I like Fine and Dandy. I think he landed on a good spot.
Yeah, we were far
Unconventional
from finished.
development does sound like you're abusing a child.
It's
like the
for your
social-
own good.
Social worker comes in, he's like, what does this one have a case of?
That is a professional word, like in the office for saying child abuse. It's like, well, during the developmental years, there was some
Quite
unconventional
unconventional.
tactics that were utilized.
Oh no!
What
Like,
did they
oh,
do? Well, they tied a bee's nest to his back and spanked him and told him to run as fast as he could.
You've heard the old like handcuffed to the water heater? Yeah, that was light compared to this.
Dude, that would be tough though. Like come in and just like had a rough day today at work. What was it? Honestly, that'd be a sick intro for your podcast. What was it? It was a bad case of unconventional development.
No, but seriously, this
Intro
kid, he had
music.
it really bad.
You know what's funny is like the beginning of it. I took it was one of our friends' voices. She's like unconventional development. It was just like unconventional development. But like music, I'd be like in the background, unconventional
would've-
development. That shit went so unbelievably
I
hard.
hated that.
That shit
Nah,
went
you'd
so
love
It
it.
reminded me of
unbelievable.
those videos we had to watch in school in like elementary. Reading
Unconventional development.
Some
Yeah.
cheap effects in the images.
Education connection.
Get connected for free.
All right.
Well, that'll wrap it up for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. You guys are awesome. We were tired as fuck, and we did it. So to reward us, like and subscribe and comment.
How many are vaulted right now?
1.
1, so this is 2 out. All right, guys, so we're getting ready to move coming up. So you guys are gonna have to bear with us for a little bit. We're gonna try to get as many episodes pumped out as we can before the move, so that way if there's any like hiccups on getting the new setup kind of situated, the new studio situated, that we have some episodes vaulted for you guys because we don't want to miss any weeks. But bear with us. We're going to have a different set here in about a month, less than a month probably. Well, no,
Nah,
probably
a little
about
over a month,
A little over a
roughly.
month. Yeah. But sit tight. Hold on to your britches because we got us a whole new freaking Fine and Dandy podcast studio up and coming, dude.
Join us for the ride. Peace out.
Signing off.
Later, gators.